So, please wait. The meeting host will.
Good evening to one and all. This is our post-lunch session. I welcome you all. Now we will move towards our third session, and the resource person of this third session is Honorable Dr. Rohidas Nitonde sir. First, I would like to introduce you all our resource person. The topic of his presentation is Revised Assessment and Accreditation Framework, Criterion 4, 5, 6, and 7. Dr. Rohidas Nitonde sir is a young, dynamic, and enthusiastic resource person. He is an associate professor of English at MSP Mandal's Sri Shivaji College, Parbhani. He is also the coordinator IQAC, coordinator of UGC CPE, coordinator of International Students Cell. He is the principal investigator of UGC STRIDE, SPOC and PTL SWAYAM local chapter IIT Madras. His area of specialization is English studies, higher education, assessment and accreditation. He has addressed more than 30 seminars and conferences as a resource person. He has presented in 5 state and 20 national and 5 international seminars and conferences. We are very fortunate to have you, sir. He has published 18 research papers in journals and proceedings. He has authored books. Under his able guidance, there are 4 PhD scholars working under his supervision. He has completed 1 minor research project. Sir, on behalf of IQAC of Srimati Sushila Devi Deshmukh Senior College, Latur, I heartily welcome you all. Heartily welcome you, sir. It's over to you, Dr. Rohidas Nitonde, sir. Dr. Rohidas.
Good afternoon to one and all. Thank you, Professor Dr. Karajgi, sir, for your kind words and the introduction. At the outset, let me put on record my sincere thanks to the Honorable Principal Dr. Ajay Patil sir and Dr. Karajgi sir for extending the invitation to be the resource person for this national conference on NAAC A&A process. I also express my gratitude towards the honorable and esteemed management of Srimati Sushila Devi Deshmukh Mahavidyalaya Latur, Honorable Dilip Rauji Deshmukh Sahib, Honorable Amit Rauji Deshmukh Sahib, other resource persons for this e-conference, Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Uddhavji Bhosle sir, Principal Dr. Bharat Shinde sir, Principal Dr. Shashikant Das sir, Professor Dr. R.T. Bedre sir, and all the other resource persons in this national level conference. There are several reasons for me to express my gratitude towards this institution, because as the participants are aware that all the other resource persons are really people of eminence. They are people who have proven outstanding results in their field of discipline and study. But if compared with the other resource persons, both my physics and talk as well as presentation will reflect that I am quite young chap in this quality enhancement, quality sustenance, and quality maintenance exercise. Despite my being this much junior and having inadequate experience to be a resource person for such a wonderful event, the management and administration, particularly Principal Dr. Patil sir, has been insisting that I should address this e-conference. I think it is sheer their greatness that they have given opportunity to a young speaker like me. So once again, thank you, sir, for this opportunity. Before I begin to address my audience, I once again put it on record that, as already I said, that I have very little experience regarding NAAC and its work. My knowledge is also limited, but I am fortunate to be in the company of good people. Since I work in MSP Mandal Sri Shivaji College Parbhani under the guidance of Principal Dr. Balasaheb Jadhav and Principal R.T. Deshmukh sir, I learned some things from their great guidance and had been fortunate to be in touch with the eminent resource persons from NAAC Bangalore. With this limited access to the origin of this entire NAAC A&A, I have experience to this NAAC's revised assessment and accreditation process as a end user. I am the one who has to deal with the NAAC manuals and prepare the records. I think in this e-workshop, e-conference, all the other resource persons, they are in the guide's position, whereas I am in the position of the fellow participants. I am on your side because I want to speak out your experiences, because you all, the listeners, participants, are either IQAC members or coordinators or the stakeholders, those who want to bring positive change in their institution. Uh, may I request the host to enable my screen sharing so that I can begin with the presentation? Okay, my point is that we, the IQAC members, coordinators, as well as the stakeholders striving hard for improving the quality of higher education being imparted in our educational institute, we have to tackle with several issues that are there being uh, given by the NAAC in its manuals as well as the formats and templates. I am there since morning in this conference, and I have observed that how participants, they have certain questions which are perhaps, for to many questions perhaps there are no replies or no answers, both with the resource persons as well as with the NAAC office also, because there are certain key issues. They are known to only those people who are working in the rural and interior parts of the country, their challenges, their difficulties. So my perspective in presenting the four criteria given to me, that is fourth, fifth, sixth, seven, four criteria and 440 marks are assigned with me, and my intention is to share the difficulties that are there with us, particularly regarding these. Just a moment. So my all the way while I am speaking in the course of time, my approach is as of IQAC coordinator. As aptly Dr. Karasgi sir has said that I am the coordinator and I am filling the SSR templates for my institute, as well as we have adopted 6 other non-accredited colleges who have not been through single cycle of NAAC, and Sri Shivaji College Parbhani, which I represent, is the mentor college for those 6 colleges. That means as on today, I am handling the self-study reports of 7 different institutions. 6, those which have not been for a single time to NAAC, and the one who has already been 3 times and facing for the 4th cycle. by the end of this year, we will be submitting our self-study report to NAAC for the 4th cycle. So whatever the difficulties that I faced and some observations that I will be talking about you. Okay, I may not be, perhaps I should confess that my presentation is not that much pretty, beautiful, so that you can take the screenshots and get its recording. But the views I will be sharing, please take a note of that. Few more things. If your college has not gone so far for the NAAC assessment and process, then really I should say that you are lucky, because if you see the revised accreditation framework that came in 2018 and now we are in the 2021, there is a great difference. This revised accreditation framework, and particularly the present day accreditation framework that is as on today, has made the work of IQAC members and coordinators very easy, simple, and okay, it's not tiring also. Earlier, when I worked with the old method, when it was the hard copy submission of the SSR and the say voluminous work of self-study report, and whereas today's SSR, if we compare, then this is nothing but just like in the last academic year, we taught our students in the conventional method, but we assessed our students in the COVID-19 scenario with online MCQ type exams. And whose benefit was that? It is open secret that it was the benefit of the learners or the persons who were being assessed. Likewise, the present assessment and accreditation process of NAAC is exactly in that way. It has reduced the number of questions, and even in the questions the questions are divided into QLMs and QNMs, qualitative metrics and quantitative metrics. One more additional benefit that we have got is opt-out mechanism. Earlier there was the same measurement for all the colleges in the entire country, whether it is a rural college, whether it is an urban college, whether it is a special education college. Okay, but now depending on the category and the location and situatedness of your institution, particularly the 7th criterion, you will notice that NAAC has made it easy for the institutes that are willing to go through the A and A process. Even it is not that they have limited the number of questions, but they have divided into QLMs, QNMs, and to your information, all the QNMs, they don't require a lot of data. There are several QNMs. Principal sir, there are several quantitative metrics wherein there are only just MCQ type questions. That means not only students are having MCQ questions, but the higher education institutes are also having MCQ questions. Choose any one of the given options. This much ease has NAAC brought in the process of preparing self-study report for the institutions. I will be focusing on 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Even for the 7th criterion, I will not be giving much of my time, because the next session is a dedicated session for the best practices. And so I will be speaking little about it. But for the 4th, 5th, and 6th, 3 criterions, I need to be much elaborate and specific. NAAC has several manuals for many institutions. There is a separate manual for the universities, again for autonomous institutions, even for the affiliated institutions. In affiliated institutes, NAAC has categorized UG colleges and PG colleges. So when I am presenting the presentation to you, it's on my side, I must make it clear that I am using the affiliated colleges manual, and I will be talking about UG and PG colleges. There is only one difference in these criteria. Okay, for UG and PG colleges, the weightage of 130 and 140, That is the only difference. When the relevant slide will come, that time I will illustrate it in detail. That is one thing. The next thing NAAC has brought is the opt-out mechanism. So the colleges can opt out the things, and with these, there are many other things that the IQAC coordinators can do. There are few questions wherein you can show your understanding of the system, and that you are having standard procedures and policies for maintenance of the quality standards or benchmarks in your institution. Let us discuss these criteria one by one. This is the fourth criteria, infrastructure and learning resources, which has the weightage of 100 points. Here 100 points are for what? There are physical facilities, there are library related facilities and IT infrastructure. So facilities are, infrastructure is divided into physical facilities, library related resources facilities and IT facilities. These are the three things, having them and maintaining them. Earlier people used to say, when we faced the first cycle, even in the second cycle, people used to guide us that having is important. But friends, in these days, having is not enough. Having and maintaining it properly is very much appreciable. If you can maintain your campus infrastructure, then you will get the 20 marks. Okay, many colleges, they are having infrastructure and that has become a challenge for them. So don't be possessive. Don't say I have this, I have that, I have that. Okay, have. And what have you done out of that? And the answer is, sorry sir, we had so many things and we could not optimally utilize, neither optimally utilize nor properly maintain it. Then it has become a challenge. So earn wisely so that it will not be a challenge for you how to spend. Okay, so this is important. And if you look at the screen here, you will find that there are 5 QLMs. That means 5 descriptive type answers in the 4 key indicators. There are 4 key indicators and 5 descriptive answers only. That means IQAC members and coordinators have to write not more than 2500 words for 4th criteria. Okay, the whole of the 4th criterion, nothing to be written more than 2500 words. So limited words, give the gist, give the bullets, give the important things only. And my advice is that friends, don't be generic. Though for medicines we prefer generics because of the cost effectiveness, but for representing your institution, it should be the mirror of your college, your institution. When I am reading the SSR self-study report of Srimati Sushila Devi Deshmukh, Varisht Mahavidyalaya, Latur, then I must be able to get that within 2 to 3 minutes. No, it is the SSR of only that institute, and any statement is not applicable to any other institution. For example, we are having well-equipped laboratories, highly qualified staff. Instead of saying that, say college is having 11 well-equipped laboratories, say 42 members with PhD and 3 with postdoctoral. This kind of specific information will give the exact representation of your institution in the SSR, so that the peers can make their judgments. Though I am not a peer team member, but since I know many things that are there in the NAAC manuals, I tell you that the peer members that visit to the institutions, they form their opinion and even the grade of your institution once they see your SSR for the first time. At first glance, they form their opinion. So be specific while you are writing answers for the descriptive questions. Criterion has with it the marks or point scores for the descriptive answer. So QLMs 5, quantitative metrics are 8, and out of 8 there are 2 multiple choice questions. So with that we have total 13 metrics. That means here are only 13 questions, and in that 2 are MCQ type questions, 5 with descriptive answer, and you can opt out 2 questions. So out of 13 questions, if you opt out 2 questions, How many remain? They remain only 13 questions. So when there is a choice, we get confused. Friends, don't confuse yourself. Don't go by the number of marks that are there for opt out. Maximum marks that one college can opt out for is 10. Out of 100, only 10 marks are to be opted out from this criterion. Okay. So look at your institute, be objective, be impartial, look from the third person's point of view at your college and identify which are really your tough challenges for your institute and opt out only those metrics. If you don't find any challenges there in the fourth criterion, do not opt out anything. Go for all the 13 questions, write their answers, submit it to NAAC. And if you really find that, sir, these two questions are really challenging and I want to take a lifeline, then you can skip either of the two questions or both the questions depending on the weightage. And the weightage should not exceed 10 points in one criterion. So out of 100, 10 only. It's much easy, and I mean ease NAAC has brought. So let us look at the first key indicator, that is physical facilities. The weightage is of 30 marks, and there are some words that are tricky even in the NAAC manuals and sometimes in the UGC guidelines. What do you mean by adequate facilities for teaching learning? What is your definition of adequacy? Something that is adequate for me may not be adequate for the other college. So there is no watertight concrete marked line that what is exactly adequate. If you look at the university guidelines for the affiliation committees, I know those who are the principals, associate professors, even some of us experienced assistant professors, they have been to the affiliation committees to various institutes in the university formed committees as member chairman, and in the affiliation committee report there is given standard how many classrooms are required for 1 degree course. It depends on the number of optional subjects that are being offered by the institute. Then it depends on the number of practical subjects that are offered. It depends on the elective options available, then core electives, and then if there is flexibility. So my point is that, friends, when you are saying that you are having, it is a QLM, when you say that you are having adequate number of facilities for teaching learning, don't be in hurry. Do not say that yes, this much is required and I am having it. Cross verify it with 2-3 things. For example, even though we are preparing for the NAAC A and A, let us cross verify it with the NBA process of accreditation. What NBA guidelines say, what UGC guidelines say, what your affiliating university guidelines for affiliation they say, what is the requirement of the infrastructure that is required for teaching learning. So 5 marks for having adequate. See, there are only 5 marks out of 30 in the physical facilities for adequacy. Even if you say you have more than adequate, the only 5 points are there. But the next thing, what about the co-curricular things? For co-curricular, do you have sports, games, and cultural recreation activity facilities? And these facilities need to be geotagged. There you have nothing to manipulate. You cannot write goody answers to the question point 4.1.2. So here you have to be very much specific. If you say that you are having 3 auditoriums, then give the geotagged photographs. So here you have to get this. So there are 10 marks for physical facilities, 5 for curricular, 5 for extracurricular activities. Then 5 were for physical, but 10 are for what? ICT enabled. That means having building gives you 5 marks and having computer enabled class gives you 10 marks, double the marks. And this is a challenge for the rural colleges. The young colleges that are going for the NAAC for the first time, my mentee institutions, the 6 colleges that I am mentoring, they have this challenge. They say, sir, earlier affiliation committees, they used to stop our affiliation because there was not adequate number of classrooms, library, office building. We have built those things, and there are only 5 marks for buildings and 10 marks for computers. So this is a new challenge of new era. Thanks, the manual was prepared before COVID. Had it been prepared after COVID, then instead of 20, they would have enhanced it, I mean, doubly, maybe 20 there for the ICT enabled facilities. Then the last point is budget allocation excluding salary for infrastructure augmentation. As I said, having infrastructure is good, but what about the budgetary provision? As this college belongs to the former Chief Minister of Maharashtra and the existing cabinet minister, the college management and administration, they know very well what is budget, and there must be some budgetary provision. See, for many institutes I visit and see their rough drafts of the SSRs, what I find is that the colleges, they don't have their own budgets. No college management approves in any of its meeting and minutes that this is the budget of the institution for the so and so financial year. So my request for you is that you should convince your management as well as administration, as IQAC coordinators and members. It is your responsibility to have budget, make a budgetary provision. And if your budgetary provision is there and you are making here, expenses are not asked. Whether there is an allocation of fund for infrastructural maintenance, that is the question. Don't get confused with the question. Many times we say that, sir, we have spent money on the maintenance of infrastructure, physical infrastructure. Expenses are not being asked here. The allocation is asked. So allocation is one thing, and expenses, many times we expend things without taking anybody's consent, and that creates problem. You will not lose your marks for the QNM, but you may get hampered in the 6th criterion, where you are talking about the qualitative metrics, whether you have policy document for implementing financial management system. Here you will say that, sir, we had no budget allocation, but we have expended the money, and you can claim the marks here, but ultimately you cannot score out of marks here without having budget to be uploaded on the NAAC site. One thing. The second thing, even if you get here 50% marks, you will lose your marks in the 6th criterion. So it is must for us to be specific. These are the 4 questions in the first key indicator, that is physical facilities, in the 4th criterion. The one that is marked with red shows 10 marks weightage, and here if the college is thinking that, oh sir, out of 5 years we have not prepared budget for any of the year, my advice is, it is the danger zone. You can play safe game by opting out that metric. So 10 marks you can opt out here. Total opt out is 30 marks limit. So this is first key indicator. Then the second key indicator is library as a learning resource. I advise many principals and colleges to allocate this criterion to the librarian only. The entire 4th criterion be allocated to the librarian, because most of the part is related with either infrastructure, because librarians are having degree in master's degree in library and information science. This criterion is either infrastructure. Library has a big building. Many colleges, even my college, is having bigger building than the administrative office to the library. So library has physical infrastructure, learning resources, IT infrastructure, and they know how to maintain the IT infrastructure as well. So in this, ILMS is having 4 marks. Sir, what is the difference between the 2018 and 2021 is that after these 4 marks, there were 2 marks for rare collection, and 4 marks were for the subscriptions of the e-books, databases, like. So now instead of 4 marks, there are 6 marks for subscription of, let us say, Enlist, subscription of e-journals, e-books. So many colleges, they got benefit of this latest change of the NAAC. So here, earlier the colleges used to get the only 4 marks for subscriptions and 2 marks for having rare collections. They were automatically helpless for that. So 4 marks for having ILMS. And it is not necessary that the colleges should have paid a ILMS. There are so many free openware integrated library management systems. New colleges, particularly those who have not faced any cycle, they get afraid that how to do this. But my advice to them is that, friends, don't worry, your library is having little collection if compared with the A grade and A plus grade colleges, because our library's collection as on today is 1,26,000 number of books. But for many colleges, the collection is less than 10,000. So it is easy to upgrade the physical library into an automated library for the younger colleges. They can do it in a span of 1 month only. So get 4 marks. It is easy to get 100% marks in these two questions. Question number 1, question number 2. Then for question number 3, I cannot say that many institutes would be able to score out of. It depends on your budget and expenses that you have. Some colleges may have good funds with them, but the other colleges, they don't have. Particularly self-financed courses offering colleges, they can spend more money on books and journals, as there is adequate fund available at the discretion of the principal of the college or the management of the college. But for the aided colleges having only arts courses and only aided colleges, for these colleges, non-government of Maharashtra or state governments are not providing any sort of funds for non-salary, and these colleges have little funds for purchasing of books, and they purchase the books that are required, minimum books. So here such colleges, they get affected, particularly in grading. The fourth point is percentage per day usage of library by teachers and students. Patil sir, I am happy to share with you. I know that you know each and everything, but since you are there with me, and I would be enjoying to talk to you along with my participants here. What is this? NAAC is very much appreciative. I appreciate the revised pro forma, because NAAC is not asking all the questions for 5 years. Earlier, for every question, go for 5 years data. But now NAAC has been sympathetic. I must thank the advisors, deputy advisors, assistant advisors for understanding the task of the IQAC members, coordinators, principals, office staff, that for certain questions they have asked data for the current year only. So for librarians, they must be thankful to the NAAC office that NAAC has removed three difficult questions. When some of the prestigious colleges in our region, they faced NAAC, that time there were really some tough questions. For example, the first question that I talked about, collection of rare books, we don't have because we don't need. Is there any need for having manuscripts of the great books? So no. So collection of rare books, that question is removed. So we should not get afraid. The second one was that data for journals and access of e-databases, and they used to tally it from the InflibNet database for the 5 years, that is also removed. And this last fourth key indicator, that the data of use of library by the stakeholders, teachers, non-teaching staff, students, external visitors, that is to be presented for the current year only. That means NAAC has made our task easy, transparent, and easily maintainable data is asked. So for this 4.2, library as a learning resource, the librarian is supposed to provide the entire data. If our teachers, history, sociology, and political science teachers as the IQAC member go and visit the librarian, they will get confused. Rather, librarian is responsible to present the data for the 20 marks, and nothing is read on this slide. That means this is a safe side. Okay, key indicator. No risk is there, and you can go for all. Nothing is to be skipped from this key indicator. You have to be ready with answers to all the 4 questions, because these are all compulsory questions. The third slide in the 4th criterion, it is IT infrastructure. See, earlier already I told that for even physical infrastructure, even for the physical infrastructure, there are 10 marks for IT. And even in this third key indicator, we are having total 30 marks for IT. how many are the total? Earlier
Sir,
10
what
and these 30, that means 40. So building is for
Degree.
5 marks for
Parvati.
classrooms and 5 marks for the library, recreation hall, sports. That means buildings are for 10 marks and computers and IT infrastructure is for 40 marks. So friends, it is really time and the age of the .com era, or let us say that we are in the ICT era. Okay, so updation of IT facilities, including Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi has become compulsory even before the pandemic. So 5 marks for that updation. Having it one time is not enough. Okay, once you have, that is good. But do you update? If Shivaji College is saying, Shivaji College Parvan is saying that they are having A plus grade with 3.52 CGPA, and they had 350 computers in 2016, and we are with the only those many computers and that much internet, then NAAC will not appreciate. We may lose these 5 marks for that. Then we have to say that every year we have updated our IT infrastructure. We have added some extra additional hard drives, hard disks, or we have expanded the RAMs of the old systems in the college. We have not thrown out all the old systems and to the e-waste management. Rather, we have enhanced those systems by extending the RAMs of the old computers. So updates to the IT infrastructure, 5 marks. What is the student computer ratio? There is Mr. Prabhakar Swami, IQAC coordinator of Mahatma Phule College, Kingaon, and in many meetings we ask this question to the peer team members and even the resource persons from the NAAC. Sir, what is your expectation? And they say 1:10. For 10 students, there should be 1 computer. And even it is not clear whether these computers should be from only IT labs or even the computers in the administrative building, computers in the library, computers in the mathematics lab, language lab, they will be accepted as this or not, because in the manuals you will not find clear-cut guidelines. It is based on your assumption, understanding, and perception only. You have to answer these questions. Okay, then the last question. See friends, even if I am talking to you, I'm using the dedicated 100 Mbps broadband line, and NAAC's expectation is only, highest expectation is 50 Mbps line. If you are having 50 Mbps broadband line, not the lease line also, then you may get 15 out of 15 Wi-Fi facility, then having 50 Mbps LAN. Okay, this much is requirement, but in many colleges, they are having 50 Mbps dedicated lines with the private players in the IT sectors. So you should go for that. If you ask me, only the rent for 50 Mbps connection these days is 1,000 rupees per month. So many colleges can get 15 marks here multiplied by 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is the factor playing important role. Earlier in the old physical sort of NAAC assessment, there was not 0 factor. There were only 1, 2, 3, 4. So that was the 4-point scale. And in the old manual, when we did our NAAC, everything was multiplied by 1. So even if that college says that we don't have internet in our college, still 15 ones are 15. So 15 marks that college used to get. But now that provision is not there in the NAAC. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. For the colleges that are writing that we don't have Wi-Fi and internet in our college broadband, then 15 multiplied by 0. So it is essential for us to be aware that for any question, you may get the minimum number of marks less than the allocated. The minimum allocated on this slide are 5, but your possibility is that you may get 0 out of 15. So remember that once again, there is no red zone on this slide. That means there is no alternative. This is compulsory English course. The students as cannot say that we don't want to get the compulsory courses. Likewise, colleges cannot say that we don't want IT infrastructure, we want to opt out. Out of 30, we want to opt out for 10 marks. No, no provision is this. This is mandatory. And the colleges, managements, administration, they have to invest for the IT infrastructure. Then the last key indicator, maintenance of campus infrastructure. So here is the average expenditure, not the budget allocation. Okay, so whether it was the provision, budgetary provision to make expenses on maintenance, it is not a question. Now here is the average expenses and not for 1 year. If you make the expenses only in the last year when you are approaching to the cycle, next cycle, then your average will get down. So it is wise to be proportionate all the 5 years. Then whether you are having established systems and procedures for maintaining these things. So policy document, qualitative metric. So IQAC coordinator need to read out the policy documents and procedures of all the institutes of national importance. What are the procedures for these things followed in NIITs, IITs and IIMs? If we study those procedures, then we can make a draft of our own unique draft, and that is applicable also. Many times we have ideal drafts at the place, but we cannot follow or stick up to that policy, and we have to show to the NAAC that we don't have policy. We are having policy as well as implementation of that policy. It is a doable plan. Okay, we need to act upon it. So this is what the maintenance of campus infrastructure. So 20% for the maintenance, and maintenance of laboratories, libraries, sports, computers, classrooms, everything. So 20 marks are here, and we can opt out here for first 10 marks. But again, if you are opting out for 10 marks for maintenance of physical facilities, then you will not get good marks in second criterion. Though I am dealing with criterion 4, 5, 6, 7, then I must take care of criterion 1 and 2. Sorry. In criterion 2, we have learning, okay, teaching, learning, student centric, okay, learning methods, various provisions. And if the teachers are saying that 50% of the syllabus is implemented or being disseminated to students with the help of IT infrastructure, and you say that the campus is opting out for maintenance of physical facilities and academic support facilities, that means you may lose your marks. So don't get confused. Even though this is optional metric, but my advice is that don't go for optional metric here for the fourth point, because if you opt out from this point, then it will take you into the danger zone for many other criterion and also key indicators. So don't opt out this one. Okay. With this, we come to the conclusion of the fourth one, and here is the fifth criterion. In the fifth criterion, student support and progression. Again, there are some positive changes NAAC has brought. And what are these positive changes? Because when we are facing for any exam, I prepare as a student for the next cycle every time, even for the third time, and that is why I think that it is better for the IQAC coordinators and principals and the staff of the college to understand what is the manual and what is easy for them. Here there are only two QLMs in the entire criterion, only two descriptive answers, 500 answers, words answers, two only. For the rest of the questions are all quantitative. That means you have to give the figures. So 13 questions, 11 quantitative, 2 qualitative, and 3 are MCQs. So out of 11, 3 are MCQs. Only at 8 places, 8 questions you have to provide the data for 5 years. Even there is one question for which you can provide the data for the current year only. I will be elaborating it when I am on the particular specific slide. Here, opt out. How many questions can be opted out? 5 questions. Out of 13, you can opt out 5 questions. If I forgot, let me make it clear that we cannot opt out any qualitative metrics. So first 2 questions, QLMs, cannot be eliminated. We cannot opt out qualitative metrics. those metrics are for which the peer team is having marks with it. So you are not allowed to opt out from peer team. So you have to present everything for peer team. You can opt out from the machine generated score, that is quantitative metrics. So 5 questions can be eliminated out of 13. How much scope is here? Here is very much scope. I advise that in the old method, many A plus and A double plus grade colleges, they got out of marks for criterion 4 and criterion 5. It is my humble suggestion to all the IQAC coordinators, if you want to get better score, see the reports of the top institutes in the country. Which are the top 10 institutes performing in the NAAC? See their assessment reports. You will see, sir, even our college faculty members don't know our report. How can we see their report? NAAC has made it mandatory for all institutes to keep it on their record. I mean, website. Even if it is not on their website, you use the internet and NAAC will provide you the reports, okay, evaluation reports of all the institutes that are accredited by NAAC to you. So IQAC members and coordinators should go for the top 10 performing institutes in the country and see what is their performance. Sir, my observation is that those who are having 3.5 and above, they get out of marks either in the 4th criterion or in the 5th criterion. It is not possible for the 2nd criterion to score out of. So many institutes, they get out of marks in 4th, 5th and 6th criterion. That is my observation. And so even if some college thinks that they cannot go for out of marks in criterion 5, then there is provision for opt out. So my advice, all colleges, they should, depending on their strengths and weaknesses, go for opting out 10 marks from the 5th criterion, because here you cannot do anything, because many of these marks are in the hands of your students, and we are having the student centric pedagogy. So control is not in the hands of teacher or administrators. It is the learner who is controlling most of the marks here. So it is my humble suggestion that you should go for opt out of 10 marks, any one question or two questions from 5th criterion. Let us see which are the key indicators and what are the questions. The question is average percentage of students benefited by scholarships. Most of the colleges, they get out of marks in these questions, particularly the first question. See, in our college, almost every student gets the benefit of these facilities. Why? Because those students who have applied as per the reservation policy at the time of admission, okay, more than 50%, 52% students, they belong to the different groups wherein they already get the Government of India scholarship. If they don't get the scholarship, then they get the free ship. And for the rest of the students, those who don't belong to the 52% reserved category students, many of them, they are the EWS category students, economically weaker section students. They get the free ship. So many get free ships, and so most of the institutes, particularly the conventional educational institutes like arts, commerce, science colleges. For professional colleges, they may not get out of marks here in the first question, but the traditional colleges, arts, commerce, science colleges, which are following the state government and central government policy for the admission, that is the reservation policy, then you will get out of marks. So don't say, sir, how much percentage will get us out of marks? Even the NAAC officials are not supposed to reveal those benchmarks. Even if we ask Honorable Dr. Kavdeji, he will not say exact number of percentage that is required for getting out of marks. But my assumption and study of those colleges who have got top grades is that if you are able to provide it to the students as per the statutory provisions made by the state governments and Government of India, then you be assured that you get out of marks. The second question is again danger zone. As I said, aided colleges, they don't have they have not received for long time the non-salary grant from the government. So government funds are not there, and they are not allowed to take the donations, because most of these colleges are the colleges run by the trust. For example, Sushila Devi Deshmukh College is run by the Mandra Charitable Trust, MIT, okay, MCT, or Shivaji College is run by Marathwada Shikshan Prasarak Mandal. So how Shivaji College can get funds from the people and give fellowships or scholarships to students? So we have limitations to our sources. So limitations are naturally to our expenses, and that is the problem. So second question, there is a scope for you to opt out. It is a 5 marks weightage. For the third question, you can do, it is a doable plan. Any institute can run these programs. Then for the fourth question, average percentage for 5 years. Sir, earlier it was that percentage of the students selected through the competitive exams. Now it is not, the percentage of success ratio is not asked. In the changes that have NAAC brought, the important change is here only beneficiaries are asked, percentage of students, and you can say that 50% students were benefited by these competitive exam guidance cell. Okay, so here you can get good marks. Earlier in 2018-19, the question was how many of them they were selected in the examinations. So that is the benefit that we have. And grievance redressal mechanism has 5 marks. Again, the IQAC coordinators need to put the perfect policy document which is doable. So on this slide, in the student support, out of 50 marks, only 5 marks can be opted out depending on. And even if you are providing free ships to sportsmen or the students, those who have represented your college in cultural activities, outstanding students or the poor students or the wards of your faculty members, staff members, or you have adopted some students, you can claim for that and no need to opt out 5.1.2. Let's go to 5.2, student progression. And here there are in 5.2 we have 3 questions. The first question, 10 marks, placements, and all the 3 questions in student progression can be opted out. Whether there are placements with you or not, that is not 100% compulsory. You can say that in many traditional educational institutes there are less than 1% placements, 0.01% placements are there, and in that case the colleges may opt out for this. So opting out the placements is one solution, but it is not recommended. Okay, you may opt out depending on your local situation. Student placement, and we should be aware that NAAC has been very much particular about the student placement records. You might have seen the news in the newspaper and media that NAAC has already taken back the accreditation status of one of the prestigious autonomous engineering colleges in the country, only because of the fabrication of data related with placements. So I have made it quite bold, and it is opt out enabled. So instead of that, had the institute opted out this point, this question, then it would have been a valid grade for such a prestigious institute. So friends, the IQAC members and coordinators, please, it is my humble suggestion that be particular when you are showing your record of placements, because we don't want to get debarred from the NAAC's list. So NAAC should not take such a severe action against institute of blacklisting it, and the concern is pretty important. So percentage of student progression, here why there are 15 and 10 marks. In the third criterion, you would have noticed that for PG colleges and UG colleges there is a difference. So third criterion is having less importance by 10 for UG colleges and more for PG colleges, 10 additional. Here, PG colleges are having 10 points less, 5 points in the 5.2.2 and again 5 in the next key indicator. So student progression for PG colleges, already students they go for PG, and so NAAC might have come to the conclusion that there is no need for asking to the PG colleges whether your progression is like that. So they have given only 10 weightage for the student progression, and 5 weightage is for NET, SLET, GATE, and GMAT and CAT and GRE, like national and international competitive examinations. If students qualify, again here also we need to be very much specific, because students data, roll number, his seat number, hall ticket, certificate, everything needs to be there with the IQAC, and we need to upload the data in a particular template. So if you are having the exact number, give the specific data, because that is the quantitative metric, numerical data is expected here in the third question of the 5.2 key indicator. All can be opted out, but all cannot be, because the maximum limit for one criterion is only 10. So the here UG colleges are having weightage of 30 and PG colleges are having weightage of 25. Out of these 25 or 30, you can opt out only 10. So here any one of the three, and my suggestion is that if it is possible, go for the placements. Then the next key indicator, alumni engagement, and here there were 2 marks for having what, the minutes and meetings of the alumni association, and that is the thing that they have taken back. NAAC had taken back. These 2 questions were there in 2018-19, but they were for 4 marks each, and there was third question, the meetings of alumni association and minutes of the alumni association. Those 2 marks were pretty good. We could have scored out of marks out of those 2, but here knowingly or unknowingly we will be losing 1 mark, that is the second question. We can opt out that alumni contribution, but registered and functional alumni is a doable thing. It takes 2 to 3 months to register the alumni association for the college, and here NAAC has not disclosed the benchmark. If alumni is registered, functional, having regular meetings and minutes are maintained, will the college get 5 marks out of? And Kaude sir or any other NAAC official will say, sir, we are not allowed to tell you whether you will get out of marks or not. Why? The reason is that it entirely depends on your college, the nature of your college. For example, some colleges only single faculty college and there are only 300 students learning, only BA course is there and 100 intake is there, 120 intake is there, single faculty college, only BA course is implemented. That college may have single alumni and they may have registered it and recorded the minutes and everything is at place. But what about the college which is offering more than 20, 30 programs? For example, MSP Mandal Sri Shivaji College, that is my college, is offering more than 30 programs. Okay, diploma, certificate, diploma, degree, PG, PhD programs, and there are more than 3,000 plus students on our campus. Is it for a 60-year-old institute enough to have only one alumni association? No. Shivaji College is having many chapters of alumni association. There are 3 registered chapters. That means one alumni association having joint account with the principal of the college and 3 other registered chapters of the college alumni association. That means if a college is having sizable life, 25 years, 50 years, 100 years. For example, the Cotton College earlier and now Cotton University, having a long tradition of alumnus. Such institutes may have so many chapters, and depending on that, for such a big institute, having only one alumni association and maintaining its record will not give 5 out of 5 marks. So that is why NAAC has not revealed exactly what are the benchmarks for getting out of marks for neither for the QLMs nor for the QLMs. Okay. So these are the two questions, alumni engagement. And with this, we come to end of the fifth criterion. The sixth criterion is leadership, governance, leadership, and management. 100 marks are there. Sorry. And for this, see friends, here are 5 key indicators and total 16 questions. Out of 16 questions, 10 are qualitative, 10 cannot be opted out. Opted out only 3 out of 6. 50% of the quantitative can be opted out here. There's not pretty need of opting out for the sixth criterion. You may not take the risk of opting out for sixth. If you need, you may go. Let us go to these key indicators one by one. The first, institutional vision and leadership. It is mandatory. Okay, mandatory to have vision and mission. Earlier there were marks for having vision and mission, but now there are no marks for having vision mission. They say that it is common, you are having vision and mission, that is good, but there are no marks for vision and mission. So marks are for what? Marks are for reflective effective leadership. Whether your institute is having IQAC, administrative staff, the principal, vice principals, supervisors, the vision in tune with the institution's vision. Is it being reflected in the participatory and decentralized management? See, the revised Maharashtra Public University Act has given representation on the college management to IQAC. The IQAC coordinator is the de facto member of the college management. So management is giving representation. Even the Maharashtra Public University Act is talking about giving representation to all levels of teachers, assistant professors, associate professors, professors. So decentralization and participatory management, these are having 5 weightage. And these are the mandatory metrics. Both are qualitative metrics. Then strategy, development and deployment, 10 weightage. So 2 for having perspective plan. Then 4 for organizational structure and being as per the required structure, following the norms, functions of the bodies and rules. And most of the granted institutes, they follow majority of the things, procedures, either state government rules, UGC norms, standard procedures. We do it for the recruitment, promotion, even for maintenance of the grievances also. We do have Vishaka committees. For many other grievances, we have mechanism at place. The third question is implementation of e-governance. For small colleges, they don't have their own softwares, and the office is not automated fully or partially. In the smaller colleges or the younger colleges, wherein there are limited number of computers. But as the government is doing so many things online, for example, NRF is online, AICG is online, MIS is online, even many universities, they are offering online question papers to the colleges. That means we are coming close to this e-governance, planning, development, administration, finance, accounts, student admission and support, and examination. Many institutes are doing this. With the COVID, the A grade institutes, they were already doing it, but with this new the new normal, we are going rapidly towards the answer to the third question, and so no college should opt out this question, though it is opt out eligible. The third one is faculty improvement, empowerment strategies. The 30s weightage is there, and opt out is number of professional development or administrative programs organized by the institution for teaching and non-teaching staff. Many colleges, they organize training programs for teaching staff, but as the non-teaching staff is comparatively little in number, for the only arts colleges, it is most of the times single digit number, And so the colleges, they are not serious about organizing such programs, and it is not even feasible for smaller colleges. That is why NAAC has put it in optional element. So third question can be opted out from the third key indicator of the sixth criterion. But for average percentage of teachers attending professional development programs, every college will get good number, because everybody is attending it, and it is mandatory, because in many states the promotions are associated or linked to the completion of these mandatory required trainings. So last question is QLM. It is a descriptive for self-appraisal system, and we should be particular in showing the policy and implementing it. You must have the minutes of IQAC, wherein the meetings for the API maintenance are conducted. Even if there are some faculty members who are being promoted as associate professor and professor, the IQAC can conduct a special meeting for checking out their appraisals, whether they are eligible for promotions or not, or in its regular meeting they can have one issue for discussion on their agenda and go ahead. So having policy is not adequate. Implementing it strictly is essential here to score maximum in this question of the third key indicator of sixth criterion. Let's move on to the fourth key indicator, financial management and resource mobilization. Everywhere it is at place, but the coordinators, they don't get where it is. In many colleges, including my mentee colleges, we have 6 mentee colleges, and many other smaller colleges that come and approach us as being a leading institute in this region. Their coordinators, they say, sir, our financial management and resource mobilization unit is either with the accountants or the principal and accountant. Even IQAC coordinator, is not having access. I would like to urge the administrators in the meeting that please make it open at least to your IQAC, if not possible for all the stakeholders. There should be no harm in maintaining the transparency. Once you maintain the transparency in accounts, accountancy and transparency, they go hand in hand. Once you are transparent in accounts, people, they don't raise any other doubts or questions to you. The third question is opt-out enabled. So whether you have strategies for mobilization of funds and optimal utilization of resources. I think though it is enabled for opt-out, you should not go for opting it out, because that is a QLM question. Sorry, that's a question wherein you can show certain records, because every institute is running only because there are expenses, they are on record also. So you should be able to not opt out of this third question. So there is the fifth question. I know I am running out of time, and that's why I am going through quickly these questions and key indicators. This is IQAC. I need not talk about IQAC, because all of us are either members, coordinators, ex-coordinators, or the chairman of the IQAC. The principals are all chairmen of the IQAC. So IQAC is an important body, and IQAC is having 30 marks. See, no department, neither department of physics, electronics, mathematics, chemistry, English is having weightage in the NAAC framework. But one department is having weightage. See friends, for all those teaching departments, we have well maintained offices. But unfortunately for IQAC, in many institutes, there are not independent offices, there are not independent staff members. For many teaching departments, you have, okay, in bigger departments, we have dozens of non-teaching or support staff. But for many institutes, for IQAC, that there is no single support staff. So my urge to the principals, vice principals, administrators, representatives of management of the institutions is that please do consider IQAC as an important department. If you are considering as a part of administrative office, then it is well and good. Once you consider it is an important department, then you will create infrastructure there. you will deploy some support staff to that office, you will appoint some clerical staff to that office, and then there will be procedures, and IQAC will be the key agent of change in your institution. Unless and until IQAC is empowered, how can we empower the institution? Okay, you cannot expect from a man without limbs to empower the others physically. Okay, you cannot say, Dr. Nitonde, do something charismatic for the college and you will not get any resources. It is quite impossible. So my request is that you should pay attention to the IQAC of your college. It should have particular place, furniture, all the required things, and people should come together frequently in the IQAC office. As college needs staff room, the dire need of IQAC is there for any institution. You may not have staff room. If the college is smaller college, only 7 to 8 faculty members are there. You can say that faculty room is the IQAC, because IQAC should have the office somewhere, and it should have the required furniture as well as the staff that is required to maintain the record of the IQAC, so that we will not be in a hurry and hassle at the 11th hour. Then we have 7th criterion, that is institutional values and best practices. As I already said that institutional values is the part that I can talk in a couple of minutes. Best practices is there is independent session on that. And the only beautiful thing that NAAC has brought is that all are not same. Even among the equals, all are not same. And institutional distinctiveness is to cater that. For this criteria, we cannot opt out any question. There are total 13 questions. 7 are QLM, 6 are QNMs, and all 6 are MCQs. All 6 questions are only choose any of the following. Okay, so quantitative metrics are least important. I mean, they are important, but here you have little data to be prepared here. So all 6 QNMs are MCQs, and QLMs 7 are there, and there you need to be very much specific. Particularly the best practices, 30 marks weightage. There you need to be meticulous, not only particular. Meticulous, why? Because many times even in the A plus grade colleges, what I have observed is that this is my just question out of curiosity. What do you do to the best with you? Do you forget, lose it the next year or the next cycle? Whatever the best practices you have shown for all the previous years in your past, for this cycle as well as for the previous cycle, if you are able to sustain those best practices, then only your institute is having quality and maintaining the quality. For many A grade, A plus grade colleges, they are unable to continue their past best practices. And my question is that, can you throw the best out of you the next year? There is least possibility. So friends, while you are showing your best practices, don't be in hurry. Don't say that these are our best practices and yes, we will present them. Think of 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Can you continue these practices in the coming years? Even can you show some of them in the perspective plan of your institution? Then only your planning has certain procedures and systems. Okay, so here is 7.1, institutional values and social responsibilities. Here 22 marks are for environmental consciousness and sustainability. So you should do great work there. Many colleges they do, but they don't have the proper record. Maintenance of record and data is the problem here. Then for the best practices, I need not talk about it because the session is there. NAAC has more than 100 books in PDF form on NAAC website, particularly on the best practices. I request all the participants to go to the NAAC website and visit the resources page. You will find that there are thousands of best practices from the institutes in the country. What is this distinctiveness? For distinctiveness is nothing but to show how you are unique. I don't know about you, but if you ask me what is your uniqueness, what is unique in your institution, then we can say that many institutes have started online classes, Google classes, and online examinations in 2020 with the COVID-19 situation. But Shivaji College is using LMS and online e-education for even conducting examinations since 2016. Today we are in 2021. That is one thing in teaching, learning, and evaluation. We are having LMS for evaluation also. We can conduct proctored examinations with our LMS. That is one thing in teaching, learning, evaluation. For research also, you should have distinctiveness. You can have you have scope for showing your distinctiveness. For administration, for infrastructure, you may have distinctiveness, and particularly student support progression, you may have distinctiveness. If you are offering something for employability concrete, then that is your distinctiveness. For the environment consciousness, recently the government of Maharashtra has set up certain air pollution control centers, and Shivaji College Parbhani is responsible for controlling the air pollution for 3 districts: Parbhani, Hingoli, and Beed districts. So this is the new achievement, and there are so many things that you can say. Okay, even you are having more than 50% girl students on your campus. That can be a distinctiveness even in the co-education system. So you are having more than 50% rural students, your intake, but still you are having many placements, greater number of placements. That can be your distinctiveness. Situatedness, you may be in a hilly area, but you are propagating medicinal plants. That is what the advantage that you have taken out of your situatedness. So this is a better thing that NAAC has come up with this key indicator, and I appreciate this. With this, I have already consumed much of your time. Thank you, the esteemed audience and the resource persons who are already waiting for ending my session. Once again, I thank all of you for patiently listening me. I could not see the chat box. There were many chats, comments. I could not access. There are 56 on my chat box. So thanks to those who have commented positively. The queries, if they are there, my email ID is aryasnitonde@gmail.com. aryasnitonde@gmail.com. You can send your queries to me on mail. We are running out of time. Once again, thank you for your patience listening and wonderful opportunity the college has passed on to me. Thank you.
सवाल तो नहीं 8-5-6 को कटेंगे क्योंकि उसके बाद देवता ना भी संक्रांत कब है इसका
इसको जाएंगे अपने बर्थडे
डॉक्टर करजगी सर
अच्छे से करेंगे।
इसका नहीं कटेगा अभी बाल भैया मैं तेरे बोल दूं
बर्थडे तो घर में मनाने के लिए ठीक है, रिश्तेदारों के बीच में।
Thank you so much, Dr. Nitonde sir. Actually, if you see the chat, I am very happy to tell you that all chat is full with the words of appreciation of your presentation. I am going to read a few of them for your kind information. Your presentation is clear and clinically oriented. The speaker has an uncanny gift of expounding the potential requisites necessary for accreditation. Sir, your presentation is appreciated by all the participants, such as it was highly informative, excellent, illuminative, and insightful presentation. Sir, we will cherish all your valuable suggestions. Due to the paucity of time, we are here. Cancel the paper presentation of the participants. We will turn to our next session by Honorable Principal Dr. Mamta Arani ma'am.
ठीक है, ये तो ठीक है, वो ठीक है।
Can you listen me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So,
Ma'am, I would like to introduce you before our participants.
Okay.
Uh,
Proceed.
it's my honor and pleasure to introduce Honorable Dr. Mamta Marani ma'am, who is the principal at RBB College, Muzaffarpur, Bihar. She is the ex-member, syndicate and senate of Bihar University, elected member of Academic Council for 9 years, written 2 books and many papers published in reputed journals, awarded with Best Program Officer NSS, awarded with Sister Nivedita Sanman. She has been awarded with
Yes,
Ekta Award
Nivedita.
for innovative teaching. She has been the president for 7 times of Sanskar Bharati, chartered president of Lions Club Sri Radhe, member and director of Rotary Club, member of advisory board of Smart City and Muzaffarpur Railway, vice president of Muzaffarpur Table Tennis Association. Ma'am, here is a small request to you. Before your presentation, I would like to request you to publish our
Savanya.
special issue of Langlit and International Peer-Reviewed Open Access Journal by clicking the link.
Okay. So send me the link first.
I'm going to click, ma'am.
Harsha, bathroom में चल. सावकाश पडशील तिकडे जाऊ नको. पडतंय तिकडे हर्षा. ओला आहे पडतंय. असं इकडे ये.
Ma'am, would you orally inaugurate the journal? Please?
Okay. Fine. So
Dear delegates, it is a small announcement regarding the journal that we are going to request from the participants to extend the date of paper submission, so you can submit your research papers up to 20th January. This is the last extension. Please don't request us to extend again. The journal will be published online on 30th January, and you all will get the link of your papers so that you can download and take the print of you. Thank you, ma'am. It's over to you, Mamta Rani ma'am.
okay, first of all, my big congratulations to you for organizing this sort of webinar. That is very, very important one. That is very, very relevant. And also congratulations for publishing this journal on this occasion. First of all, I would ask sorry to all of you because I'm through my job coming from airport and going to my residence, but because the time was scheduled earlier, the session was scheduled earlier, so it becomes my duty to be present in the webinar and ponder my views upon the topic given to me. I was given the topic best practices for fetching good marks in NAAC. So as I was listening to Mr. Rohit Das, and he has stated so many things, something about these practices, and he was very much correct that the Criterion 7 that tells about the best practices, and it contains 100 points, and there should be a continuity in best practices. But today, what I reason why the best practices are evaluated during NAAC accreditation. The purpose is just to contribute to national development. And institute, it is known for the studies. In institute, we go, we study. There are teachers, there are financial works, but the institute, there should be something very special and unique about the institute, how it is different from others. So for this very reason, we go for the best practices and it is evaluated as well. So the aim is to contribute to national development. Then the second point, that is to foster global confidence among students through best practices. Platform with the students, we actually set up barrier for the global world. So this competency is built during this. The third one, that is to inculcate values.
Ma'am, unmute yourself. Ma'am, unmute yourself. It's not audible. Hello, ma'am.
Is it audible now?
Yes, yes. Right now it is audible.
So I was just discussing the fourth point, that is promoting the use of technology. As we have noticed, we have witnessed that how this pandemic has made this technology a very essential part of day-to-day life, not only in education system, but also in our day-to-day life. We have become more technocrats, and technology has become the part and parcel of our day-to-day life. So to promote this thing also, we need best practices. And the last, that is quest for excellence. Why NAAC? NAAC is needed to promote excellency, isn't it? How much the institution has achieved throughout the last 5 years, that is evaluated in NAAC. So best practices is one of the most important part of NAAC evaluation. And some of the best practices I would like to discuss you here. As I was the member of NAAC peer team and I visited few colleges, and there I found one best practice. You know how to, you have to make a report on best practices. You have to give the title, you have to give how you have practiced it and what is the outcome. So that format is there. You have to fill up that format. But what sort of best practices you can go for, that I would like to discuss. One is somewhere I went and I saw that they have adopted girls. That was a girls institution and adopted girls and named that best practice Be My Child. Be My Child means the principal asked all the departments to give financial support to the poor girls of the institution, and each department was handed over this task that you should shortlist at least 5 students who are poor, who can't expenses of their studies, and they kept the data with them, and then they took all the care of the studies of that child, and from +2 to graduation for this 3 years course, everything was funded by the department. The colleagues of that department, they raised a fund by contributing to it, and then through that fund they just financially assisted 5 students each year, and that was a great thing. This is a real service to the society as well. And when I was there, I was impressed very much. And when I came to my college, I asked my HODs also to have this best practice, have this thing as the best practice of the college, because many of the students, they drop the study due to the financial crisis. So to support financially, this is a big thing, and this adds a feather to the fame of the institution. So this was Be My Child. Then in Kerala, I saw My Tree. That was a project running by the institution. They made certain groups of the students in each year, the group of 20 students, 25 students, and they all were given a tree to plant. A plant was there and it was given to them, and they had to look after the plant, and marks was also given upon the healthy plants. So it was to associate students to nature, associate students with the nature. So we are very much excited, and we went there. We saw that mm, uh, in the sides of on the sides of the roads of the campus, then again in the campus of the departments, every student, they were in a group. They were named. Hello, hello. Can you listen?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes. It's
I'm not
audible.
getting.
No. Yes, it's audible, ma'am. Continue. Continue, ma'am.
A
Continue. Please.
named group after great men of India, and they were given the task to plant a tree, then look after the tree, and in the final year, they were given marks of the planting of the tree. So that was also a great practice, and I saw that the campus was also very much green and green all over, because students were engaged to make the campus green. So it was also a good thing. Hello.
Yeah.
Should I continue?
Yes, ma'am. Continue, please.
So that was campus bank. It was really an innovative idea, because I saw each and every student of the campus was asked to deposit at least 100 rupees per month to the campus bank. That bank was operated by the students under the guidance of the faculty members, of course, but that was operated by the students, and one student has to submit 100 rupees. That taught the students how to save. The habit of saving was there. Moreover, what they did with that money, that at the end of the session, when the student was to leave the campus, he was given the check of 2400 or 3600, and many of them, they used to donate that money to the institution. So the institution had also a fund generating system through it. So this campus banking, it was really a good thing, and I counted it among the best practices I have ever gone through. Then a small scale entrepreneurship that would give the society a message, and in that entrepreneurship, basket weaving, making a bouquet, and those things which are made, there was a period of 2 hours weekly, and every students in their group, they were to make the broom, make the weave the basket, this sort of little things they were asked to do. And when they just make the product, what happened, it was sold around the campus houses. Even the teachers, they used to buy the broom, they used to buy the bouquet, they used to buy the basket, and that was the money was just deposited to the college development fund. So it was also a great practice. I saw, I witnessed. Then one was, I don't remember where it was, but ambassadors to society. A group of students were made. We do it in NSS as well, serving the society. So the group of students were made, and they were sent to teach the society, the lower strata of the society, the poor people, about health and hygiene, about saving the water, about just preserving the electricity. So they were given 1 day in a month, and they were asked to form the group and go into the society and ask the people, just tell them how they can be clean and hygienic, how they can save the water, how and they did it through some drama, through some speech, through some slogans. So this was also that was named the ambassadors to society. So this way also we can make our institution a different one by practicing this thing. Then in my college also, it is a college having home science department and department of clinical nutrition and dietetics. So mushroom cultivation, that I am audible now. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it's audible, ma'am. Please continue.
So mushroom cultivation, I saw it is a very very little thing, and any student can do it. We have given a space in our college campus, some racks there, and our students, they cultivate mushroom. They produce mushroom, and it is sent to the hotels and other restaurants, and they purchase it because those are very healthy. So we learned this from Pusa Agricultural College, and this was also among one of the best practices last year. When last time NAAC visited, they also appreciated this endeavor of the girls of the college. So that is also, and one is again I want to say, be your teacher, means engage the students and give them the duty of a teacher. In 1 month, one student has to perform the duty of a teacher. He has to engage a junior class. He has to evaluate the answer sheets of the junior class. So this way, they are prepared for the coming time. They would be a good teacher of the future. So this is the foundation of that student. So by that was also a good practice, that be your teacher. Then serving old age home. In our society, there are many people who live alone, who live in old age home. So we have given the duty to the students in groups. They should visit the old home. They they uh, they are not needed to do much thing there, but even they talk to the old people, the old and alone people. They feel happy, and my students, they go there, they celebrate their birthday with biscuits and tea only. But even that thing is enough for those old people who have been deserted, who are segregated from the society. So that was also a good thing I have witnessed. So these sort of best practices should be there in the institution. You remember what Mahatma Gandhi had said, students are being the victim of luxury. They think that only reading would just do the purpose, fulfill the purpose. But he was of opinion that the student luxury should be taken and another way, and they must be engaged to some other ways because they have so much of energy. So if they are engaged to serve the society, there would be a good result, and that's why we have the NSS as the outcome. So these best practices are also a good thing that would connect the society with the students, that would connect the students to the needy people, and it would definitely fetch marks in NAAC evaluation as well. So some of the best practices should be taken, and that consistency should remain there. As Mr. Rohin Das has stated, I was listening to him, whatever good practices you start once, you should continue it. You do not give up those practices when the NAAC evaluation is over. Then don't think that the institute has nothing to do with the practices. That should be continued, and this gives institution a fame in the society as well. So best practices should be taken seriously. You go for the students SSS system, you go for financial audit system, you go for research and learning, teaching and learning processes and research methodology and everything. But best practices are also necessary, and it is an innovative idea of the institution that gives the society a lot. So I think this much I have to say today, because I'm on my way to home, and in between sometimes I am disconnected as well. But I think I was audible to you people. Hello, hello, कुछ तो हो जाता है.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Hi, yes, ma'am. Audible.
So, hello, it's fine.
Yes, ma'am.
I have not taken much of your time.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for sparing your valuable time, ma'am. We know that you are traveling on the way to West Bengal.
And the duty first, because I had already promised for that, and
Yes,
if
ma'am.
I commit, so I must.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, now I received the cover page of the journal. I will share the cover page. Please announce it as it is published.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Ma'am, this is the cover page of our journal.
Yes, Langlit. This is the journal, and you have designed well the cover page of the journal, and I declared it published, and I hope this will be of great use for the readers, for the scholars, for the students as well. Congratulate you for this publication of the journal Langlit, and I would be happy if you send one of its copy to me as well.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, and say my whistle to Dr. Patil.
Yes.
Dr. Ajay Patil.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Most welcome.
Dear delegates, we will now turn to our next session. It will be conducted by Honorable Dr. Sasikant Das, who is the principal of Tagar Government Arts, Science and Science College, Puducherry. His topic of presentation is Skill Enhancement and New Education Policy. It's my honor and pleasure to welcome our next resource person, Honorable Dr. Das. It is my pleasure to share you all that Das sir was one of the members of our NAAC peer team committee who visited to our college. We are delighted to have you, sir, in this conference. Friends, if you visit his Facebook page, you will find him and his great work. I salute to his social work, I request you to share your experience on how do you manage there. Actually, he has worked so much during the time of COVID-19. Sir, please, is it audible? Dr. Sasikant Das, sir?
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Sir, please.
I'm just waiting for you to complete. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Audible.
Good evening to all of you. At the outset, I just want to congratulate the Susila Devi College for organizing this one-day workshop. And for the last 1 hour, I have been hearing to two of the speakers, and I felt it's my pleasure to listen to their experiences also. I thank you for the simplest way of introducing me. And yes, I had a privilege of visiting your college, and the previous speaker was referring to the best practice. Let me tell you, in my almost 7 years of NAAC association, where I visited nearly 60 odd colleges, including few universities in different capacities. And I have also the registrar of Pondicherry University. So I have seen certain best practices of different other universities also. But dear participants, before I could speak anything, let me extend my New Year greetings to all of you. And just 3-4 days before, we have celebrated the Youth Day, National Youth Day, celebrating the birthday of the greatest personality that India has ever produced, Vivekanand ji. And he has always spoken about the youth power. And whatever you are doing in the society, it is all related to the youth. So it is not too late if I can also extend my greetings on that event. It is also not too delay if I'll say that my greetings to all those people for Makar Sankranti, Pongal, Bihu, and whatnot. India is a country of cultures. And when I speak of quality, yes, quality is within us. The only thing is that we have never tried to explore the quality. When I say quality is within us, I just feel like to sharing everyone, those participants here, somewhere I could say 95 participants, that all of you are talented people, all of you are real quality people. The only thing which is missing is that we forget that we are the quality oriented people, or we have the quality within us. That is the reason Gandhiji once said that in a gentle way you can shake the world. In a gentle way you can shake the world. That is what all about. And yes, we can. The only thing is that we should feel for it. As Dr. Mallikarjun sir has said, that if at all I learned something, I just learned by observing people. I'm not at all a well-read person when it comes to writing and speaking. I just learn from others experiences, others' observations. That is how I feel my quality is. And when I could see that, most of the people have, felt the difficulties during the Corona time, but I felt Corona is the God's, gift to all of us, because somewhere we have misunderstood why you are alive. Somewhere we have forgotten that we are here only to exploit the nature. We have forgotten that we have to care the nature. And because we have failed in caring the nature, and that is the, the result that we could see. And what I feel, that this Corona could also give lot many opportunities to bring out the best in you. And that is how I felt that almost 145 days of continuous service that I extended to the mankind. And that is not that it is a proud feeling. I just felt that that was my duty. Because as a human being, what you are getting is not important. What you are, rendering is more important. And now also when I said, again, Mallikarjun's sir is referred that if you can see the Facebook, my Facebook is nothing about personal. My Facebook is public because I have also learned these things from others. And this is all about caring the nature, caring your society, caring your fellow beings, caring your people around. So you have to see whether the life is to earn or earning is for life. That we have to understand. And saying this, I felt that as a principal of, for the last 10 years, almost of four educational institutions, including Pondicherry Institute as a registrar, I have just gathered, I have no, straightforward reply to anything. It is all about an experience that counts. And when I could speak of the Susila Devi College, even now also I refer that I have visited to this college and I could see they had an excellent, practice, best practice, I can say, which I have not seen anywhere in this country. Ajay Patil sir is here and all the people are here. You must appreciate that I was just asked, he took us to one of the place where he wanted to show that, sir, what is that place? Then he said that, okay, this is a, burial ground. I have never thought that a principal will take us to a burial ground, because all of us, are leaving this world, but we don't know that is our ultimate destination. And when we went, the whole peer team went to this college, to the place. After seeing this burial ground, he had taken, plantation all around. I said, sir, what is this? He said, this is my home that I'm making it the next life. I was moved by it. I could see that is a place none of us would never, feel like visiting. And the plants which was growing up there was no water. So with much of difficulties, he was getting the water even from the tankers, even from different, because Validatory is a very hot place. And surviving a plant in that hot place is, next to impossible. But I was moved with him, with the feeling of those people, that how these people are nurturing a burial ground. And that is one of the best practice I've never seen in this country. And sir, my heartiest congratulations to you for opening my eyes. And from that time only, I felt that my life is dedicated to the humanity, to the society, because we have come to this earth not to take a single pie, but we forget that whatever you are getting, it belongs to the society. But somewhere we feel that no, this belongs. That, that feeling has to be there if at all you want to excel in your life. Not of excelling, what are you going to excel? You cannot excel anything, because you cannot create a drop of water. That's it. That is the ground reality. We can only have to save few things of the society, what it has given, the nature, what we given. If you try to understand, I feel quality is the secondary. Quality will happen automatically. Now, when I say of the quality, people do talk of quality. I say, what is quality? All the colleges, those principals or the organizations or the IQAC coordinators or the faculty members, we know quality in 21st century, specifically for government colleges, how tough it is. For a principal, I know the moment you enter to the college, the moment you come out of the college, it is full of high BP. A person who has occupied this chair, by the tenure he completes almost 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, you see that person, he will be having diabetics, he'll be having high BP, he'll be having 3 tablets in a day. That is the end of his life. Because we talk of quality here, but please tell me whether the bureaucracy, whether the politicians, whether the administrative structure is allowing you to perform. Everywhere, whoever will talk, whether the UGC will talk or whether the NAAC will talk, they will talk of the quality. But just imagine the person who is handling into that chair, whether anybody is understanding his emotions, his feelings. I just feel it's very few people must be understanding that. This I'm talking because I'm talking from my understanding of 10 years, because I was the youngest principal in this whole country who has been selected by the UPSC at the age of 36. So I understand that handling a college is topmost difficulty and even more challenging to certain vice chancellor. I have seen in the country where 900 universities there, vice chancellors with having all the privileges they do must be having a staff of less than 50 also in certain universities. I have seen it, new universities. Even Certain central universities do have also less than 100 faculty, but they boast themselves vice chancellor. But I think if the society is changing, it is only because of the teachers and because of the principals. And that has somewhere miscalculated or unable to understand. And I understand that the moment the college principal comes, his basic problems are water, electricity, classrooms, labs, students' disturbances. Above to that, the teachers are not getting their due salary by the end of the month. Just tell me, from where are you going to get the quality? Quality is to a great extent, we talk of the NAAC quality. NAAC means quality. It is almost 25 years. Why a single college has not done to the best of the ability, which we can boast, or we can boast that this is one of the best colleges in the whole world. Where are we standing? We can boast, my college is the best, my college is doing that, my college is doing this, what not. But when you talk of the ground, please, all the participants, my open question to all of you: how many of you are satisfied in your day-to-day life when you are going to the college? That is that whether any UGC secretary will understand. Yes, maybe understanding, may not be understanding, that's different. But just tell me, we are just going to the college. Most of the people, they go with a very positive attitude. But by the time they end up in the college, they will say, oh, such a disturbing day. Why that happens? Because education has not given the due importance in the society. For example, from 1956 onwards, we are talking of 6% budget allocation to the education. But tell me, why 70 years has been lapsed and we have never crossed 4% of our budget allocation? Because when people speak, they speak of teachers are the best. But when it comes to their salary, why the teachers are still working with 10,000 rupees? In so many colleges I have seen where the teacher's salary is 10,000. How do you expect that the teacher will give the best when you don't assure the teacher of minimum salary for his life? Because at the end of the day, he has also a family. That is misunderstood. As students who are expecting to excel with the 90%, if all the 90% student will secure 90%, what is the value of 90% in the society? Why don't you see that? Yes, a student who are taking with 40%, 45%, 50%, if we are able to give them little bit of education, I think that is the biggest success. And how that is happening, or people say that, yes, people should gear up for the NAAC. I just feel that don't gear up for the NAAC. NAAC is absolutely nothing. NAAC is only a controlling body. They have having certain parameters. If you follow the parameters, let me tell you, none of the government colleges can able to achieve A grade. None of the private colleges can achieve better than A grade, because the parameters that they show, I appreciate the NAAC for taking the initiative. I'm a part of the NAAC member, but sometimes I feel whether that is appropriate to all the colleges at one level. Yes, they will say that we should compete with Latur, with the Delhi college. But is it really practical? We should know that a student coming with 90% in Delhi will definitely have a good result than any other college. But how do you say that the result in your institution is very poor? You must see that what sort of students are coming into that college. But somewhere those are the basic things are missed out. And we say that we have to bring quality. Now, quality, we talk of quality means quest. We should have an interest, understanding the students, understanding system, because this quality is a 7 letters. When you 7 letters is so important that, the forefathers of the NAAC, they have really taken the quality. Quality means it's a 7 letters. Then you say 7 days are also in a week. When you say 7 colors also, the whole, year is with 7 days. The whole system is with 7 colors, and the quality is also 7 letters. So when you talk of the quality, it is all about quest, understanding, attitude, learning, interest, youth, and time. But when you really practice it, I know how tough it is. So I just want to tell you a small thing. Never ever work for the purpose of NAAC visit. I just want to tell that if you are sincerely working, you need not to wait for the D-Day. And if you are active on the normal days, you need not to be super active on the crisis time. Because I have seen that most of the colleges, they wake up at the time of the 4th year or 3rd year or in the 5th year. I just feel like you just start working in a normal manner in the 1st year, 2nd year itself. And what happens? I know most of the colleges, when their best practices continue as long as the principal continues there. The moment the principal changes, the best practices changes also. and people doesn't know that what is a best practice. Let me tell you, most of the colleges some of the colleges I have seen, their best practices keep on changing in 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. Best practices hardly changes. Best practice, because that is the best practice. This is not even a practice, and best cannot change every 3 years or 4 years or 5 years. If it is a best practice of that your college, that best practice should have been there for almost 7 years or 10 years, 8 years or 10 years or 15 years. That is the best practice. Anyway, that is my feeling. But what is most important? Most important is, in spite of all the difficulties, we are the teachers. Teachers never expect anything from anyone. Teachers from the ancient period, from the Kautilya's period, we always felt of giving without any expectations. So when you are talking of the expectations, then it is the most difficult, whether that expectation is in a family or that expectation from the society or that expectation from the bureaucracy. So you have to suffer. So without having any expectation, I just feel that let us work as a teacher. Let us work that we have to commit for the society. Then only I'm sure that this society will be a vibrant society. Now, I just want to know how much time you are going to give. Another 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Then because I know my time slot is for 30 minutes, but since it has been delayed, if you let me know 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I will go to the topic. Or else, if participants are tired enough, because I know talking of the NAAC itself very tiresome. Okay, and let me tell you, people, those who talk of the NAAC characters, criteria, if you put up them into the picture, even they cannot form it, they cannot do it, I'm sure. Because I know I have been given NAAC training almost to few universities. But if somebody asks that, sir, why this is there, I find it very tough to analyze. Because reading from the book and giving as a lecture is very easy. But when you become a student and understand, it becomes very difficult. You know, telling to our student that, read from 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, get up in the morning, practice it, you will be doing wonders. Then I just want to know why we could not become wonders. You know, I always tell the same thing, that yes, we love to clap for others, but why people are not clapping for us? Because we never put up that effort. So that we have to understand. Every college is its limitations. Every college is having its prospects. Within the limitations and prospects, we have to work hard, because whoever will give a lecture, they will tell you that no, this is not possible. No. I have seen when the NAAC members visit, as if they are those 2 days, 3 days, they are the gods and goddesses in this to all the teachers. They forget that the next day they have to go to their own college and perform. Okay, that they forget. This is my personal opinion, not to quote or not to. This is my observation. I have seen many of the people, but saying this, I just like to tell you that this is the toughest time that the whole world is going through, and we are no less. But saying this, because we have crossed this lockdown phase, we have, almost post-lockdown is over. Now, today is the greatest day in the, one of the greatest day in the history of Indian system, that today we have started the vaccination. Just imagine vaccination in a, so this is all good things are happening. And these things are happening because somebody is committed, somebody is dedicated, somebody is working for it. And I will not say that, nobody should say that, whether it's a political leader, somebody is working for us. Therefore, we have to also work. And when I say that we all have handled this toughest time, and the normalcy has become the new normal life. And when it's a new normal life, we have to gearing up for the new system. And why the system? Because life cannot be static. I'm sure Professor Patil Saab is looking very handsome over here with this jacket and all. And when he started his career, he may not have been like this. Over a period of time, what Lamborghini scooter he was having or something, now he has gone to the best of the cars, and I'm sure most of you. So life cannot be the same. And even then people do try that at the age of 50 or 55 to color their hair, color their mustache, it cannot be remain the same. Okay, inside it is getting old only. So the best thing is that the moment life has to be accepted age, it is coming. So the moment we talk of static, then it's very difficult. So sometimes change is needed for further development, and sometimes changes are to overcome these challenges. And this is an opportunity. What is this opportunity? I just give a small example. See the Second World War for USA. Till Second World War, no woman in USA was working. but second world war is open up for the women. And what has happened? This has happened that since the men people, they are into the battlefield, so the things has to be done, the society has to move, the industry has to run. So therefore the government has promoted the women to come to the society or come outside to work it. And just see, now you can see how much the country has progressed. So that's an opportunity. So we cannot say that, okay, this is a very tough time. And you can see when Y2K happened, Indian youth was never preferred in abroad till 2000. But you can see now almost the ITs and engineers, and in fact, prior to 2000, it was very difficult for Indian to get a permanent visa. Now Indians are big. And because of that, now you can see the most of the Indians, whether that is Alphabet or Microsoft or IBM, it's been by the Indians. How why this is? Because of the change. And like that, now if you can say that it's 21st century, it's a post-COVID. Post-COVID, you will know that it's a most of the industry, they say that no, it's very difficult. I feel this is one of the biggest opportunity for the industry to perform. And I also feel that, yes, in fact, the International Labour Organization has said that the current rate, if it goes, then maybe almost 190 millions of jobs will be lost. But I think jobs will come, jobs will go. But tell me one skilled person who has ever lost his life without getting any job reference. So what is missing? The missing purpose or the missing is that skill. And the skill, I am sure that skill means why there is a need of the skill, because skill requirement, even people, those who are retiring as a lecturer also, now UGC is telling that you should also know how to teach computer, how to teach in computer. Just imagine the next month that person is going to, no, you have to learn it, otherwise how you are going to get your pension. So just imagine, it is by force. And I'm sure, Patil Saab is organizing a seminar today, and many of the participants are participating without spending a single pie. Just imagine, this is the skill. This is the skill that has come into the 21st century. I know, because madam was traveling, so we could able, even then if she was traveling, we could still get her some of the points. Okay, difficulties will be there, but in spite of that, at least we could able to see her, we could able to learn something out of her. That is the skill. That is the skill. Now, why it is requirement? This is the time, because when time is changing, we have to change ourselves. If we cannot change ourselves, then we'll remain static. If we remain static, we cannot progress. And if we cannot progress, that means we cannot have at least a competitive market. We cannot progress along with others. So again, the country's skill will be, if the skill is high, the country is developed. If the skill is less, the country will be underdeveloped or developing. So I think this is a time where we have to understand it. And of course, because of the skill, we understand that there is again difficulties. Of course, there is a big difficulty that how a good college can deliver IT level education, but for a poor college like mine government college, it is very tough. It is very tough. How many students can able to afford, if they're in a rural place, getting a connection is so tough. So it's all difficult. But again, the government has to understand this, and that is where 2020 Indian youth has to go ahead. Now this is what I feel of the skill. And now I just like to share a screen with all of you that we talk of the skill, So what is that skill? Just a minute.
Sir, unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Ask.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Now.
So, this is what I just coming to the topic, and this is the skill enhancement. Of course, I will not take much time. Just have a look into this, why this skill is important in this century. What is skill? So we all know what is skill. I'm sure skill is experience, skill is training, skill is, anything you can talk, whatever you learned out of your experience becomes your skill. And this is the types of skill. And when you talk of the skill, I'm sure most of you are aware that skill is an ability to do an activity very well, especially when you have practiced it. That is a skill. So this is the types of skill. When you talk of the transferable, and transferable means which can be transferred. And for example, in an organization, to promote, to analyze, to write, that becomes your transferable skill. Then it's a personal, because certain people, those are by birth, that becomes your skill. Sometimes patience is somebody's skill. Result oriented is skill. Independent is a skill. So these are the personal traits. And the last is the knowledge based. Knowledge based means personal administration, through education, training, on the job experience. These are the knowledge based. So this is the types of skills. And this is the building blocks, how the teaching skill happen. I'm just going within 2 minutes. Discipline, teaching, subject matter, communication, expertise, and
That's room management.
And next is this classroom management, patience, and observation, passion, positivity, clear planning, time management, support system, team player. And next is this one, your concept formation. These are the ways where you can have your skill learning. Okay. Now, just imagine when you are talking of the skill, again in 1950, the skill learning is basically knowledge based, whatever you have learned. And in 70 and 80, you can talk about industrial requirements as made in the skill. Okay. People, those who have developed in industry, developed that become the skill. Then 90s, you can say the computer literacy has become a skill. And 21st century is all about this soft skill. And this is again, this is the hard skill versus this soft skill. And this, you can see it, that hard skill means it's a proficiency of foreign language. Because there's a paucity of time, therefore I'm not going into the detail. I'm just showing it. Hard skills and soft skills. Hard skill is basically typing speed is a hard skill. But soft skill has become your leadership. So 21st century does not belong only to the hard skill. Mostly it belongs to the soft skill. And flexibility, communication, teamwork, like that. Then this is the hierarchy. People say that how this hierarchy is, we have to say this is the hierarchy, sorry. This is the hierarchy. And hierarchy is the knowledge, the first thing you have to know what is that, then you have to understand that, how that has to applicable, then you have to analysis, then a synthesis, then evaluation. This is the skills hierarchy. You can say yourself a skilled man when you understand these aspects. Then why skill? I told you, because this is the need. There is no way we can excel in this world if we don't have the skill. Because we know that within the college, all the people, most of them are talented people, but some of the people, they show little bit of X factor. That X factor is nothing but the skill. And this is the different approaches, creative skill, exposed to ample challenges. Then I just tell you, this is a motor skill. Motor skill is that when you have lots of practice. Analytic skill, then you have a varieties of data. So this is how you learn through your training, learning, and experiences. That is how we learn. But how do we learn? This is the ways. These are the 5 senses through which we learn. These are the touching, hearing, sighting, tasting, smelling. These are the gateways to acquire knowledge. And why because since the topic was related to NEP, National Education Policy 2020 and skill enhancement. Why this NEP 2020? Because it's more of the new circumstances, then digital India, then changes in the technology, your way of approach, your way of teaching, then online teaching and assessment has become a part of life. People those have never seen I'm sure people have never thought of what is this Zoom, Jitsi, whatnot. That has become a day-to-day life. Whenever you're talking earlier, people are talking of the phone. Now you're talking of the ways of using your phone. So focus on education, learning, extensive use of technology, and online training platform like we know Diksha is for the school level and SWAYAM is for the college level. I'm sure most of you must be knowing the Diksha and SWAYAM. And why this is important? This is important because there is no way we can escape from this. We all know that the Diksha is a platform for the school education. This is a national digital infrastructure for teachers. Then this equal skill that meet your needs. It's not necessarily everything that is available you have to learn. And everything is available in the SWAYAM, and for the SWAYAM, it is the swayamgovernment.in. Then this also speaks that it's a faculty development and student mentoring. And we know there are almost 500 courses open for enrollment. And this is also applicable for the regional languages.
Hey, Nangu.
And this COVID-19 should not stop your learning. It has to continue. That is what this is all about. And how this has to be implemented. As I said, there is no one, way of learning or one way of implementation. I just tell you that when I'm talking of this, maybe people may differ with me, but let me tell you very categorically, there is no one medicine for all diseases. Every college, every institution is having its own way of difficulties. So I just feel that every college has to identify its difficulties and work upon. If that happens, then I'm sure most of the problems will get over. But saying this, there are general certain points which has to be addressed. One is institutional plan. Let me tell you that every college, whether the college principal or dean or IQAC coordinator is changing, please don't change your institutional plan frequently, because institutional plans should have minimum period of 7 years, a maximum period of 7 years, and minimum period of 5 years. Effective leaders, no need to tell, you can be a very effective leader with your own way of management. Not necessarily that whatever the Gandhi's leadership skill may not be applicable in 21st century, or Subhash Chandra Bose may not be applicable. So you have to see that what type of leader. But as a leader, you have to convince, you have to lead. But most of the places, I just feel, let me tell you all the participants that, if anyone knows what is my skill, I just want to that I'm transparent. Transparency is my, benchmark. Because whenever you are a leader, whenever you want to be a leader, most of the places I have seen that a leader should be a transparent leader. Whatever you are doing should be open. Nobody in this, whether it's your management or your teachers or your students, should be able to point out, this principal is doing something which is not known, unknown. So that should be there. And needless to say, corruptless. Okay. And there are so many points why, you all know it, you're all leaders, so no need to. And policy effectiveness. Your policy should be in such a manner that it has to have some effectiveness. We formulate certain, we see the government of India, different governments, most of the time we are having different policies. But how much that is effective, that every year, every period, you should analyze it. And SWOT and SWOT analysis, you all know that this is your strength, weakness, opportunity, threat, or challenges, whatever it is. Earlier that was T, now it is replaced with challenges. So every institution should analyze that. Then AAA, that is administrative and academic audit, then followed by the NAAC. And most of the colleges, you should try. I understand people, those in rural places, it is very easy to say that, no, you have to go for the NAAC accreditation. No, I just feel that unless you feel like, it is very tough. So going for the NAAC accreditation is a mandatory, you cannot escape it. But I also feel that don't wait till the last moment for going for the NAAC accreditation, go for it. Then only you will understand what is there in your college, what is to be developed in this. So there are multiple initiatives and actions. There is not one action which will determine your, quality. And this is one small video which I want to tell. Just have a view, please. Okay, so am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I just want to tell that there is no other way than to stop the changing. We have to go for the change, because without change we cannot survive. So for survival, we have to go for the change, and I'm sure we are all ready for that. And let's see how things move on. And before I can conclude this small one, I want to tell that man often becomes what it believes himself to be. If I keep on saying to myself that I cannot do a certain thing, it is possible that I may end up by really becoming incapable of doing it. On the contrary, if I have the belief that I can do it, I shall surely acquire the capacity to do it, even if I may not have at the beginning. So this is not me. This is the father of nation, quote unquote, Gandhiji. So I just want to tell, this is where we have to think of. We need to be very positive, and definitely there's a long way to go, and the journey has started. We have been in a made path. We have crossed so many obstacles. So many obstacles will be on the way, but to remain positive is the way towards a happy life, happy ending. So thank you, Dr. Patil Saab. Thank you to Mallikarjun Saab for giving this opportunity. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity once again. And my best wishes to all the participants for your patience hearing, and keep contributing. You know, don't fix off your goal that, okay, once this goal is achieved, my journey is over. No, just keep on working and working your destination. No one knows. Today you are here, today you are sitting as a participant or listening to my stupid things. Tomorrow you will be giving your best of the knowledge, best of the sharing your knowledge. And so many people, it is now 100 people are here. A day will come when 500,000 people listen to you. So just don't stop it. Believe in yourself and keep working, keep doing. My best wishes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Dr. Das sir, for your enlightening talk. Due to the paucity of time, we are now moving towards our valedictory session. This valedictory session will be conducted by Honorable Dr. R.T. Bedre sir, Director UGC HRDC, Dr. Hari Singh Gaur, University Sagar. It is my honor and pleasure to introduce you all Professor Dr. R.T. Bedre sir, who is the Director UGC HRDC, Dr. Hari Singh Gaur, University Sagar, Madhya Pradesh. 8 students have completed their PhD degree under his guidance. 4 students have completed their MPhil degree under his guidance. He has completed 5 minor research projects and 1 major research project. He has presented more than 40 research papers in international, national and state level events. He has published 27 papers in UGC care listed journals, proceedings and books. He has authored 6 books and edited 6 books. He has organized 17 national, state, regional and at college level seminars, conferences and workshops. He has worked as principal for 6 years in Sri Pandit Guru Paradikar College, Sirsala in Maharashtra, and successfully get accredited by NAAC first cycle and rural colleges. His area of specialization is ENT, Indian English Drama and Higher Education. May I now request Honorable Dr. Bedre sir to address the valedictory session.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, everybody. I think I'm audible but not visible. Am I right?
Yes, sir, you are audible but not visible.
No, वही अच्छा है.
No, you can start your video, sir.
I have started it, but some problem is, I think, there.
Okay.
Let that be. Anyway, my face is not photogenic, so that will do. है ना? 1 minute. Let that be. Just a minute. It is there. Am I audible now?
Yeah.
Okay, let that be. Dr. Patil ji, Honorable Principal of the college, and my colleague, come friend, Dr. Karazgi. May I know if there are some other people in this session? Karazgi sir, क्या मैं पूछ सकता हूँ कि मेरे साथ कोई और भी शेयर कर रहा है ये सेशन?
नहीं sir. No.
ठीक है. Okay. Thank you very much. So very good afternoon or evening, I can say. Dear friends, sometimes I wonder, कभी एक ताजुब होता है कि पता नहीं लोग क्यों बुलाते हैं. शायद उनका प्यार होगा, स्नेह होगा, इसलिए शायद बुलाते हैं. Otherwise, I have nothing here to tell. or not more to boast of. And as I have been seeing that right from morning, you have a nice galaxy of resource persons over here. Like I think Devendra Kaudiji was there. Then my young friend Dr. Nitunde was there. And I was listening to previous two sessions also. And they were talking about wonderful things there. So sometimes I find myself as odd man out. जैसे बेगानी शादी में अब्दुल्ला दीवाना कहते हैं ना, उसी प्रकार कभी कभी मैं अपने आप को महसूस करता हूँ. और ये नाज़नीन है कि सुबह से आपने बहुत सारे रिसोर्स पर्सन को सुना है, और ये आरएफ जो है नैक का जो दिसंबर 19 में आया है, आफ्टर 17 it was once again revised in December 19. And these people might have talked about so many things over there. But I'm not going to talk on those things because that could be repetition, and that won't be advisable here too. So, it goes without doubt, it goes without saying what role NAAC has been playing in higher education in India since its inception in 1994. ये इस बात को हम भली बातें जानते हैं कि जब से NAAC establishment हुए 1994 में, as the aftermath of 1986 education policy that was under Acharya Ramurthy Ayog or Acharya Ramurthy Commission. तब से आज तक 1994 to 2020 or 21, it means some 27 years have passed. और हम देखते हैं एक बहुत बड़ी क्रांति, एक बहुत बड़ा बदलाव, एक चेंज हमें हायर एजुकेशन में देखने को मिला है. सबसे बड़ी बात, एक अवेयरनेस आ चुकी है, जो अवेयरनेस 1986 तक लगभग ना के बराबर थी. मतलब something took place in 1964, something in 68, something in 86, and it was just going on. लेकिन कोई चेंज, कोई सी चेंज वहां हमें देखने को नहीं मिलता था, जो चेंज हमें 1994 के बाद देखने को मिला है. और हम देखते हैं, और ये शायद हम सब लोगों को विदित है कि महाराष्ट्र टॉप्स इन द नंबर ऑफ कॉलेजेस एक्रेडिटेड ओवर द नेशन. अगर सबसे ज्यादा किसी स्टेट से कॉलेज
I think we lost the connection from the speaker side. Honorable Dr. Bedre sir, is it audible? Bedre sir? Hello? I think he has lost the connection. This is one of the challenge of online education and yes, please wait. Dr. Bedre sir will join. He has joined. Yes, Bedre sir. Yes, Bedre sir, now you have joined. Please unmute yourself. Bedre sir, now, yeah, right. Please
Yes,
continue,
yes, yes.
sir.
I'm audible now?
Yes, sir, right.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir, please. Audible and visible right now. Thank you.
So, yes, yes. Now I have joined from my mobile.
Yes, thank you, sir.
तो बैकअप हमेशा रखना पड़ता है।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
तो मैं कह रहा था कि NAAC ने कॉलेजेस से, कॉलेज प्रिंसिपल से, मैनेजमेंट से, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट से फीडबैक लेकर अपनी पॉलिसियों में वक्त के चलते, वक्त के साथ साथ अपने आप को बदला है और बहुत सारी रिवीजन उसमें लाई है। जैसे कि हमने दिसंबर 19 जो लेटेस्ट, और साथ साथ हम भी देखते हैं कि जो शुरू में ग्रेडिंग सिस्टम था, शुरू में जो NAAC का ऑपरेशन मेथड था, जो कि सब कुछ सब्जेक्टिव था, एंड सो मेनी थिंग्स टुक प्लेस देयर दैट वी नीड नॉट टॉक अबाउट हियर, और उसके चलते NAAC ने उसमें कुछ सुधार लाए। जैसे कि हम कहते हैं कि फिर टू मेक इट मोर एंड मोर ट्रांसपेरेंट, टू मेक इट मोर एंड मोर ऑब्जेक्टिव, वी से दैट सम ICT इनेबल्ड RAF लाया था, जिसको हम रिवाइज एक्रीडिटेशन फ्रेमवर्क कहते हैं, जो कि 17 में इंट्रोड्यूस किया था और उसमें कुछ सुधार बाद में दिसंबर 19 में लाए हैं। और उसके लिए NAAC ने एक यूनिफॉर्म मैकेनिज्म डेवलप किया, जिसको हम बार बार उसको अपडेट करते रहते हैं। जैसे कि हम देखते हैं कि in 2017 something ICT enabled was introduced, and in December 19 we see that for the first time distinction was made between a UG college and PG। जैसे पहले तो सारा एक ही हुआ करता था, और लेकिन इसके साथ साथ एक ब्लैंकेट रूल बनाने के बावजूद भी कुछ कमियां, या देयर इज सम स्पेस फॉर इम्प्रूवमेंट, देयर इज सम स्पेस फॉर रिवीजन, जिस बात को लेकर मैं अभी आपके सामने कुछ चीजें रखने जा रहा हूं। जब कोई चीज यूनिफॉर्म होती है तो उसमें एक डेंजर या एक रिस्क होती है। जैसे कि हम लोकल्स को वहां आइडेंटिफाई नहीं करते, हम डिस्टिंक्शन को स्पेसिफाई या उसको एड्रेस नहीं कर पाते। जब कोई एक रूल बनता है तो इट इज कॉमन फॉर ऑल, इट इज अप्लाइड टू ऑल, लेकिन जहां तक इंडिया की बात है, इंडिया इज featured for its diversity not in terms of colors only, not in terms of race only, not in terms of language, not in terms of religion, not in terms of culture and other things, but diversity in case of education also. And unfortunately, I should say, or I should add to that, such distinctions of the states, such distinctions of the higher education institutes are not identified by NAAC. जैसे कि हम सब लोग जानते हैं, almost all of us are working in higher education sector in one or other role. आप में से बहुत सारे टीचर्स हैं, आप में से कुछ लोग कोऑर्डिनेटर्स हो गए IQAC के, कुछ कॉलेज के प्रिंसिपल्स हैं, and some other people are also there. And we know that, and if you are well versed with the AISHE, All India Survey of Higher Education, and its report, which is published every year, we know that almost more than 90% load of higher education is borne by states, particularly state universities. And to go into again details, we see that the most of the load of the universities is also shared by affiliated colleges. That is most important. Affiliated colleges carry the maximum load of higher education. And again, if you are well acquainted with that, I must tell you that Uttar Pradesh government has the maximum number of colleges, but as far as enrollment in higher education goes, Maharashtra again tops there. So, इसमें देखने को ये मिलता है कि NAAC, being a national body for accreditation and assessment, of course it is going to be NAAC only now. Being a national body, it developed some mechanisms at the national level which are applicable to all the higher education institutes. Of course, university affiliated colleges, such restriction is made there, but some restrictions are yet to be taken note of, yet to be addressed of. जैसे कि हम कहते हैं कि स्टेट यूनिवर्सिटी से हम कुछ रेगुलेट होते हैं, एफिलिएट होते हैं, तो हम देख पाते हैं कि हर एक स्टेट का एक अपना यूनिवर्सिटी एक्ट है. Even within the same state, universities are governed by different acts and statutes and ordinances of the state government. अगर हम महाराष्ट्र की बात करें तो उसमें भी बहुत सारा अंतर हमें देखने को मिलता है, लेकिन NAAC does not acknowledge, NAAC does not take note of this distinction. ये जो अलगाव, अलगता है, ये जो हम क्या कहते हैं एक स्पेशलिटी है या कुछ अलगता है, उसका NAAC नोटिफाई नहीं करता, NAAC उसको एक्नॉलेज नहीं करता. जैसे कि मैं आपसे कहता हूँ, NAAC क्या कहता है, every college or institution which completes 5 years of its survival or 1 or 2 batches are passed out, it should undergo accreditation and assessment. Am I audible, sir?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes.
Mallikarjun ji.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible. Please continue.
तो देखो, हर एक स्टेट का अपना अपना रूल है, हर एक स्टेट में अपनी अपनी पॉलिसीज है. और जरूरी नहीं कि एक जो पॉलिसी महाराष्ट्र में है उसके नेबरिंग स्टेट लाइक गुजरात में हो या कर्नाटक में हो या यूपी में हो या गोवा में हो, अलग अलग बनता है. जैसे कि हम देखते हैं कि एमपी में more than 95% colleges are run by state government. State government. All of them are guaranteed aided. लेकिन अब यूपी में भी सेम कंडीशन है. लेकिन जब हम गुजरात की बात करते हैं या राजस्थान की बात करते हैं या कर्नाटक की बात करते हैं और टू सम एक्सटेंट आंध्र प्रदेश एंड even in Goa, we see that the most of the colleges are governed by the private management. And again, many of them are granting aided and some are again self-financed. अगर हम महाराष्ट्र की बात करें तो हमारे यहाँ तो अलग अलग टाइप के कॉलेजेस हैं, है ना. जो 2000 के जो पहले थे वो ग्रांट बेसिस पे, अगर हम ट्रेडिशनल कॉलेजेस की बात करें, कन्वेंशनल कॉलेज की बात करें, जिसको हम टेक्निकल वर्ड में नॉन टेक्निकल और नॉन एग्रीकल्चरल कॉलेजेस कहते हैं, कन्वेंशनल कॉलेजेस. लेकिन 2001-2 में हमारे यहाँ परमानेंट नॉन ग्रांट सिस्टम आया, जो हिंदुस्तान में किसी भी स्टेट में हमें अब तक तो मुझे दिखाई नहीं दिया. इट इज द स्पेशलिटी ऑफ गवर्नमेंट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र. उसके बाद 2012 में अगेन उसमें कुछ रिविजन लाया कि such colleges should be identified or should be sanctioned as or permission be granted. ये हमें देखने को मिलता है, जो कहीं नहीं है. लेकिन NAAC के लिए ये कुछ मैटर नहीं करता. Whether your college is granted or not, whether your college is permanent non-granted or whether it is self-financed, NAAC has nothing to do with that. Even we see that in Maharashtra, some colleges run by the state government, I should say, we may call them constituent colleges of the universities, particularly in Marathwada region, we see that there is a concept like model degree college. शायद आप मुझे समझ रहे कि अगर हम औरंगाबाद की बात करें तो जालना जिले में एक घनसाम जी में एक मॉडल कॉलेज है, और अगर हम स्वामी रामानंद तीर्थ मराठवाड़ा यूनिवर्सिटी की बात करें तो वहाँ शायद हिंगोली में एक मॉडल डिग्री कॉलेज है. लेकिन वी नो व्हाट थिंग्स आर देयर, दे आर सफरिंग लाइक एनीथिंग. तो NAAC को इससे कोई लेना देना नहीं. NAAC क्या कहता है, भाई आपने 5 साल अपनी जिंदगी के कॉलेज में पूरे किए हैं, आपको NAAC करवाना है. आप फिर वो सेल्फ फाइनेंस हो या एनीथिंग कुछ भी हो, आपको सेम रूल्स आर एप्लीकेबल देयर. इट एप्लीकेबल टू ऑल यूजी कॉलेजेस, all PG colleges which are either affiliated or something different. उनको कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता, लेकिन हमें फर्क पड़ता है. Again, we say that the policy of the state government is dependent on some other matters also. Particularly, I would like to say that जैसे कि हम कहते हैं कि financial condition of the states, ये बहुत बड़ा मैटर करता है. अगर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के पास पैसा नहीं है तो हम देखते हैं कि गवर्नमेंट comes out with various GR and other things. जैसे कि महाराष्ट्र में देखते हैं, आपको फैकल्टी रिक्रूटमेंट 80% करने के लिए जितने की जरूरत है उतना ही आपको मिलेगा, पिछले साल में तो वो भी नहीं. And again, another thing is that again some governments or some policies of the state governments run on the party line also. अगर सेंटर में किसी एक पार्टी का रूल है और स्टेट में उसी पार्टी का रूल है तो अगेन देयर इज सम डिफरेंस इन टर्म्स ऑफ फाइनेंशियल एड बाय द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ऑफ द यूनियन. अगर उसके बावजूद उसके आगे जाके एक बात होती है कि जो मिनिस्टर हायर एजुकेशन या एजुकेशन डील करता है उसकी सोच क्या है, उस गवर्नमेंट की सोच क्या है, इससे भी हमारी राज्य की एजुकेशन पॉलिसी निर्भर होती है या उस पर डिपेंड होती है. लेकिन NAAC हैज नथिंग टू डू विद दैट. वन मोर थिंग, लेकिन ये बात भी नहीं है कि जहां स्टेट ओन कॉलेजेस है वहां सब कुछ ऑल इज वेल है. नो, कभी कभी हम कहते हैं ना कि दूर से हमें चीजें बहुत सुंदर दिखाई देती है. अगर MP गवर्नमेंट और AP गवर्नमेंट में सारे कॉलेजेस स्टेट ओन्ड है तो हम महाराष्ट्र वाले कहते हैं कि बहुत बढ़िया है, यहाँ का भी वैसा होना चाहिए. कि नो, the things are not that way. Here the things are very poor because since long there are no recruitments, and if some recruitment takes place, court cases and so many things are there. दूसरी एक बात जो NAAC हमेशा इग्नोर करता है वो है इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द कॉलेज. मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम के बारे में तो हमारे यहाँ बहुत उल्टी सीधी बातें की जाती है, कुछ हद तक उसमें कुछ फैक्ट्स है भी. लेकिन अगर मैं पाटिल साहब मुझे शायद सुन रहे हैं, आपका कॉलेज ग्रांटेड कॉलेज है और यू वर हैविंग सम UGC स्कीम, लेकिन आई आस्क यू अ सिंपल एंड डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन, व्हाट डज द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट पे टू यू अपार्ट फ्रॉम सैलरी ग्रांट एंड स्कॉलरशिप टू द स्टूडेंट्स?
Nothing.
पाटिल सर आप मुझे सुन रहे हैं?
हाँ, यस, नथिंग सर, नथिंग.
मेरा सवाल है आपसे कि स्टेट गवर्नमेंट आपको इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट के लिए 1 रुपया भी देता है?
नॉट अ सिंगल मनी,
नहीं देता, नॉट अ सिंगल पेनी.
या
लेकिन हमारे डायरेक्टर ऑफिस, हमारे जॉइंट डायरेक्टर ऑफिस हमें बार बार लेटर भेजते कि NAAC करवा लो. इवन दो लेटर्स आर एप्लीकेबल टू परमानेंट नॉन कॉलेजेस आल्सो, सेल्फ फाइनेंसिंग कॉलेज आल्सो. अगर हमें 1 रुपया स्टेट गवर्नमेंट नहीं देता है, मान लीजिए कोई कॉलेज का जो it has completed some 10 years or 15 years, it is not covered under 2.12b, it does not receive any grants from UGC, and the state government does not pay a single penny. सैलरी के सिवा और बच्चों के स्कॉलरशिप के सिवा और ABC का जो 4-5 रुपए होता है उसके सिवा 1 रुपया अगर कॉलेज को नहीं मिलता है तो हाउ विल दैट कॉलेज कॉम्पीट विद द वेल एस्टेब्लिश्ड कॉलेजेस? लेकिन ये बात को भी NAAC कभी अपने कॉग्निजेंस में नहीं लेता. तो इन सारी चीजों को कवर करने के लिए NAAC had to make once again some revision, some amendment in its framework also. Because please remember, as I told you in the very beginning, that 2 states or the higher education system in 2 states are not alike. लेकिन NAAC इस डिस्टिंक्शन को इस क्या कहते हैं इसको, जो अलगाववाद तो हम इसको कहेंगे, उसका जो दूसरापन है. हम कहते हैं ना कि वी शुड एक्नॉलेज द अदरनेस ऑफ द अदर, लेकिन दैट अदरनेस, दैट डिफरेंस, दैट डिस्टिंक्शन ऑफ द हायर एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूट ओवर ऑल द कंट्री are not taken into cognizance, are not taken into consideration by the NAAC. और उससे ज्यादा भी बहुत हमारे पास लफड़े हैं. मैनेजमेंट में डिस्प्यूट है तो भी हम रिक्रूटमेंट नहीं कर पाते. अब दूसरी एक बात, जैसे कि अभी थोड़ी देर पहले मैं देख रहा था कि नए SSR में एक सवाल है कि आपके पास फुल टाइम फैकल्टीज कितनी है. पिछले 4 साल से स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र does not allow you to have more than 50% position out of the vacant position. Again, some amendments were there. You will be allowed to have only that much force which are needed to make it 80% complete. अभी तो रिसेंट में कोई एक GR आया था कि आपको क्लास 4 की पोस्ट ही नहीं मिलेगी. And but such rules affect the colleges in the state very much. But such rules do not make any impact on the policy of the NAAC. तो ये भी हमें देखना पड़ेगा। और साथ ही साथ हम ये भी देखते हैं कि कुछ कॉलेजेस मैनेजमेंट में डिस्प्यूट होते हैं, तो वहां भी रिक्रूटमेंट नहीं होता। तो ये सारी चीजें हमारे परफॉर्मेंस पे, हमारे एसएसआर में जो कंप्यूटर जनरेटेड स्कोर है, जिसको हम सिस्टम जनरेटेड या कंप्यूटर जनरेटेड स्कोर कहते हैं, उस पे अफेक्ट करता है। और ये सारी चीजों को मेरा एक रिमार्क है, मेरा कंक्लूडिंग रिमार्क है कि NAAC हैड टू टेक नोट ऑफ दैट। अब दूसरी एक बात, ये सारी चीजें तो हम कुछ भी कर लेंगे, अगर हम रूरल पार्ट्स में जाते हैं, बिकॉज आई हैव वर्कड एट अ रूरल प्लेस, मैं ये देखता हूँ वहां, और ये पिक्चर कॉमन है। इवन दोज कॉलेजेस डू नॉट हैव फंड टू पे द फीस ऑफ NAAC। इवन यूके का जो फीस होना देना पड़ता है, उसके लिए भी उनके पास फंड नहीं है। ये तो बाकी की सारी चीजें तो बहुत दूर से हैं। तो हाउ टू एड्रेस दिस इशू? NAAC को तो कुछ से लेना देना नहीं है। जो लाख, 1.5 लाख या 4-5 लाख जो भी मिनिमम एक्सपेंसेस हैं, वो भरने के लिए भी कॉलेजेस के पास पैसा होता नहीं है। एंड NAAC have nothing to do with that. So these are the issues. And remember, recently for last 1 year, we are talking about this NEP 2020, and some lecture was on that also. It is very wonderful on piece of paper, very wonderful. हम विश्व गुरु बनने जा रहे हैं, हम ये करेंगे, वो करेंगे, ये करना है, वो करना है, but how? Who is going to operate it? जैसे कि मैंने शुरू में कहा था, states are going to operate and implement this NEP 2020. And remember, states have the same issues as the college has. Funds की कमी होती है, recruitment की कमी होती है, and political power की कमी है, तो ये कैसे होगा? So what solution is there? I have discussed these things here as the issues, as question, as problem before us. लेकिन उसके लिए solution की भी बात हमें करनी पड़ेगी, या कम से कम कुछ solution हमें जो हमारे रेगुलेटरी एजेंसीज हैं, या हमारे मॉनिटरिंग एजेंसीज हैं, या हमारे स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स हैं, उनके सामने रखना पड़ेगा। अगर हम चाहते हैं कि हर एक कॉलेज का, हम चाहते हैं कि अगर हर एक कॉलेज का NAAC करना जरूरी है, तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट शुड कम फॉरवर्ड एंड इट शुड पे एटलीस्ट moderate expenses required for NAAC assessment and accreditation. ये खर्चा कुछ 5-10 लाख से ज्यादा नहीं है। 10 लाख रुपए में अगर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट किसी कॉलेज को देता है NAAC के लिए, तो आई शुड से doesn't matter which grade it gets. ये जरूरी है। Otherwise, just sending some letters and I can say torturing the principal will not serve any purpose. है ना पाटिल साहब? Principal को लेटर कुछ काम नहीं होगा। हमें पैसा चाहिए, जो पैसा स्टेट गवर्नमेंट दे सकता है। कोई कॉलेज के टीचर या मैनेजमेंट के पास उतना पैसा नहीं है। हमारे हालत तो ऐसे है कि अमीर लोगों का गरीब देश होता है ना, उसी प्रकार हमारी हालत है रिच मैनेजमेंट का पुअर कॉलेज, ऐसे हमारे कंडीशन है। They are not going to pay, and how long teachers are going to bear these things? तो ऐसे हालात में मेरा ये कहना है, state government should come forward, and the government does not need much more. इससे ज्यादा पैसा तुम कहीं और खर्च करते हैं. So that will do. And another thing, what could be the final solution if you want to improve the quality of higher education in India at all? अगर हम सारे भारत की, पूरे भारतवर्ष की बात करते हैं, अगर हम अपने आप को विश्व गुरु बनाने जा रहे हैं, तो क्या करना चाहिए? And my final say is that the total spare of higher education, the total spare, I say, the total sector of higher education should be taken over by the central government. I repeat what I say. Higher education जो पूरा के पूरा सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने अपने हाथ में लेना चाहिए. I notice the difference, I see the difference. एक स्टेट यूनिवर्सिटी में क्या डिफरेंस होता है और सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी में क्या डिफरेंस होता है, I know that. Because generally the central universities do not face the issue of money. लेकिन स्टेट यूनिवर्सिटी do face. और इसलिए मेरा कहना है कि अगर सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट, the government of India undertakes or shares the whole burden of higher education in the country, and let the state government deal with the school education, then only the state government will be relieved of these expenses that they are finding very difficult to bear, and central government will do it. And then only, again, I must say something about NP 2020, then only central government will be able to implement NAP 2020 in all the sectors of higher education if they want something concrete, something visible, something noticeable to take place. And I think I exceeded my limit. I don't know whether I was in capacity to say these things, but we people should say something. Instead of passing some comment on party line or passing some comment on communal line, I should say we must be blunt, we must be straightforward to say the thing. I don't know who is listening to me, but at least my attempt is to just click you. Certain things should click you and the discussion should begin. I think I must stop here. I once again congratulated Dr. Ajay Patilji for having such a wonderful online NAAC-sponsored national conference, because I have been watching so many national conferences which are finished, I should say, within 1 or 2 hours, and that is called National One Day Conference. But such things do not take place or did not take place. I congratulate Dr. Patilji and my friend Mallikarjun Kharajgi for having offered me this opportunity to share maybe logical, illogical argument that I have. Thank you one and all. Thank you. Over to you, Mallikarjun.
Thank you so much, sir, for your realistic presentation. Actually, it was your wonderful and highly informative session, which enlightened us all. Sir, we would like to invite any 2 of the participants who wish to give us their online feedback. Is there anyone who wish to present their feedback?
Good evening, sir.
Yes, you can start your video and give your feedback. Please, Amardeep Kurukar, sir.
Yeah. Good evening, respected dignities, principal, and the fellow participants. I am Professor Amardeep Diwakar Kurukwar, Assistant Professor at Dr. Ambedkar Institute of Management Studies and Research, Diksha Bhumi, Nagpur. I am faculty for MBA program for the courses Operation Research, Statistics and Economics. And at the institute level, I do handle the criteria 3 of NBA, that is program outcome and course outcome. This NAAC sponsored one-day online national level conference on revised assessment and accreditation framework of NAAC, an approach organized by Srimati Sushila Devi Deshmukh Senior College, Latur, is a great success under the leadership of Principal Sir. I would like to congratulate respected Principal Sir, Dr. Ajay Patil, for his lots of efforts, discipline and human nature shown towards the participants and conference along with his organizing team. I really had a lot of learning through this conference, which were motivating and value adding. In the beginning, keynote speaker Dr. Devendra Kavade sir has set a strong foundation through revised assessment framework. Then very informative session by Bharat Shinde sir and Rohidas Nitonde sir on how to get the best grade, and beyond that, how to implement a quality education at the institute through benefiting from 7 criteria of NAAC. And then session by Dr. Sashikanta Das sir has given direction to we teachers through what, why, and how to do in this post-COVID teaching, which is highly influenced by computer and internet, by enhancing skills in the phase of National Education Policy 2020 and in the presence of lots of challenges. And just now, Dr. R.T. Bedre sir has given a wonderful, thought-provoking session. It was really inspiring. At the end, I would like to congratulate once again team Srimati Sushila Devi Deshmukh, Senior College Latur. Through this platform, I would like to convey NAAC that resources given by you are very effectively and efficiently utilized by the team Srimati Sushila Devi. Through this conference, Principal, respected Dr. Ajay Patil sir has given a best example of leadership, which is there in criteria 6 and best practices, which is there under criteria 7. I wish every principal do have such enthusiasm, team leading and resource finding, and at the best utilizing skills, best resource utilizing skills for the betterment of the students towards nation building. Thank you so much, organizers, for accepting my participation. I would like to participate in the future events organized by team Srimati Sushila Devi. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Amadip Kurupua sir. Now may I request Dr. Jayant Cherekar sir, who wishes to give his feedback. Dr. Jayant Cherekar sir.
Thank you, Karadgi sir.
Yes,
First of
sir,
all,
please.
at the very outset, I would like to congratulate Dr. Ajay Patil and Dr. Karadgi for organizing such a wonderful conference. And at the same time, I would like to appreciate the way particularly these people have invited the honorables, that all these honorables have touched the realistic aspect of particularly the NAAC enhancement process, how exactly the colleges are not so able to acquire higher grade, especially particularly during the NAAC enhancement process. Now this conference has really given wonderful insight, so that now onwards every colleges, they will go for a parallel thinking formula that was announced by Dr. Edward D. Albert Bonnet. Now this parallel thinking ultimately involves the principal, coordinator, the management, and all staff members of the college. Let this conference give boost to such a sort of thinking. Let it develop this sort of thinking among all the stakeholders of the higher education. And I think this conference has really given this sort of insight to everybody. I wish you all the best. Very wonderful session. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jayant Cherekar sir. Now, let us move to the concluding part of this one-day online national level conference. So today, I take this opportunity to put all my gratitude in the form of words. I, Dr. Mallikarjun Kharajgi, on behalf of the team of Internal Quality Assurance Cell of Mandraja Trust, Srimati Sushila Devi Deshmukh, Senior College, Latur, and the entire faculty of our institution. My sincere thanks to our management, the President, Honorable Sri Dilip Raju Deshmukh sir, the Secretary and the Cabinet Minister of Maharashtra, Honorable Sri Amitji Deshmukh sir, the Principal, Dr. Ajay Patil sir, who is with me attending all the sessions without taking a single break. I am proud of you, sir, and thank you for your moral support. Administrative officers, Sri Sanjay Ji Deshmukh sir, Sri Satyanarayan Bhutra sir, Sri Vikram Patan, Mrs. C.K. Kamble ma'am, and all the non-teaching staff for their constant support and cooperation. My sincere gratitude to the inaugurator, Honorable Dr. Uddhav Bhosle sir, for gracing the session and sharing the knowledge in a very beautiful manner. My heartfelt thanks to our guest of honor and keynote speaker, Dr. Devendra Kaude sir, for sparing his valuable time for us and enlighten us. I am really grateful to our resource persons, Honorable Dr. Bharat Shinde sir, Honorable Dr. Rohidas Litonde sir, Honorable Principal Dr. Mamta Rani ma'am, Honorable Principal Dr. Sasikant Das sir. All of you really enlightened us. Your talk and presentations on what NAAC process is all about has been very informative and extremely useful to us. Actually, it was an intellectual feast for all of us with experienced exceptional speakers. I also express my sincere gratitude towards Honorable Dr. R.T. Bedre sir, who spent his invaluable time for this valedictory session and enlightened us. My heartfelt thanks to my revered gurus, Honorable Dr. Pandurang Chitole sir and Honorable Dr. Balasaheb Bhosle sir, who saved me again and supported us at the 11th hour request. My sincere thanks to Professor Prabhakar Swamy and his team for providing the technical support in organizing this conference. Without your technical support, it was impossible for us to organize such a big national event. I am also thankful to Honorable Dr. Prashant Mote, the editor of the Language Journal, and the designer, Mr. Sachin Kulkarni, for their timely support. Last but not the least, thanks to all the enthusiastic participants who have made this event a grand success. Dear participants, we are all waiting for the feedback link. The feedback link will be shared in the WhatsApp groups. Please fill it up at your earliest, up to which the e-certificates will be mailed to you on your registered email IDs. On behalf of the chair, I declare this conference is over. Thank you one and all. Thank you.